Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome to Sunday Sewing Quarter. It's lovely to have your company. It's a big, exciting week in the fabric world, of course, especially this weekend because, of course, it's the Festival of Quilts, and we're very much part of that as well. While everyone has fun at the show, you have got supply teacher little Derek this morning, but I am not on my own. Let's have a look at the menu of what we have coming up this morning for you at breakfast time. We're going to start with a tale we all know, the Owl and the Pussycat. Not the Towel and the Pussycat. That's a completely different story. But the Owl and the Pussycat, Joe Carter looked very worried there. I'm making towels? No, it's okay. It's still Owls and the Pussycat coming up very, very shortly. And then we're going to have bags of fun at 9 o'clock. Lots of brilliant books coming up there for you and lots of inspiration for lots of different styles of bags coming up. Joe's back with me at 10 o'clock and we've got a gorgeous, gorgeous Cuddly Cat. Now, as it stands at the moment, the Cuddly Cat is a doorstop, but I think we're going to make something a little cozier and a little cuter that can just sit in a chair and be something to huddle up next to. That's coming up at 10 o'clock this morning. And at 11 o'clock, we are getting you organised. Well, frankly, it's getting me organised at the moment because I have to say my stash, because Joe Carter and these experts and their inspiration has got me started. And when it comes to storage, at the moment, I'm using an old suitcase. An old leather suitcase, which looks very nice, but not very ideal. Everything's rolling around inside there. So actually, we've scheduled that hour as much for me as for everyone else. So it's lovely to have your company this morning. My name's Derek, if we've never met before. Hello. Everyone else is at the Festival of Quilts today, including Joe Carter a little bit later on. I know John's at the show today, and he's got a show with Mandy Shaw this afternoon at the Festival of Quilts at the NEC in Birmingham. Birmingham is buzzing, let me tell you, to the sound of fabric wafting through the air. It's fantastic. Now, listen, here's how you get in touch with the show. It's your show, as always. If you couldn't make it to the Festival of Quilts, you've got your own mini festival of fabric going on here. So here's how you get in touch. You can email us, studio@sewingquarter.com. That's our email address. You can get hold of us right the way through the show. So if you've got any questions for Jo as we go through, because she's an amazing talent when it comes to fabric work, especially making toys and wonderful cushion wonders, then please do get in touch, studio@sewingquarter.com. You can also message us directly through the website as well. So let's have a little look at the website, sewingquarter.com. You can see there I am. Nice shirt, Derek. Very good. Well done. Click on the watch tab and you can watch the show as it's going on. You can add the items, of course. They'll all pop up next to the player and you can add those to your basket as you go along. Remember, it's 1 p.m. all day long, which is really, really good. So whether you're watching us live this morning on Freeview or the website, or you're watching the reruns through the day, you can add as much to your basket per calendar day as you like. Look, there he is again. And you can also send us a message. You see on the right-hand side of the player there's a big sort of oval, and inside you can message the studio. Hannah's just writing us a little message right now just to say hello. So you can put what you want into there. You can also see what's coming up. Of course, we've got a brand new guest expert joining us tomorrow morning on the Sewing Quarter. Paul Clarke from Sewing Bee fame will be with us from tomorrow, which is fantastic. So we're really, really looking forward to that. I'm with you a couple of times over the next couple of weeks, actually, while John's away sunning himself somewhere on the east or west coast of America. Sounds rather nice, doesn't it? So we've got lots to do. So let's kick off then, shall we? Because we have got an awful lot to do. So I shall step behind my little desk right now. And we are going to be talking the Owl and the Pussycat, first of all, in this first hour with Joe Carter. And this is brilliant. It's such a lovely, lovely project. And actually, it's made up of different pieces as well. We've got 3 different bundles to show you, all of which come with felt and thread and interfacing and your cushion stuffing as well, which is brilliant. Really, really good. And it's such a lovely project to actually put together. It really is beautiful. It does come with complete plans as well, complete instructions, which is great, because I don't know about you, but I'm quite a novice. I've started with 1 or 2 felt kits making animals and toys and various bits and pieces, but it does all come with full step-by-step instructions as well. So every time you buy a bundle, you will get the full instructions. Aren't they cute, the little owls? They're beautiful, and it really is very, very simple with the instructions that come with, which is great. So let's have a little look through the bundles. Let's start with this one then, shall we, which is rather nice. With all of the bundles, you have 4 different fabrics. So is it ½ a metre of each on these, I do believe? Yep, ½ a metre of each of the fabrics, which is lovely. With this one, you've got 2 solids. You've got the Aqua, which is rather nice, very, very nice indeed. And you've also got the grass green. These are really nice colours working together. You might have other projects. I'm just thinking, actually, there's something going on in my shirt there that those 2 colours would work with rather nice. And you have these other 2 fabrics here as well, which are rather beautiful. You've got your linear texture fabrics. They are lovely. We've got berry and we've got duck egg, which is the fabulous blue. And you see beautifully how they actually sort of coordinate together and really work together for this project, because it is a fun project. You also get your felt pieces as well. You've got your tango felt. You've got 2 different colours. You've got the wonderful sort of tangerine orange and the white going on there. And you've also got a length of the black thread to use with it too. Now, we've got the completed Owl and the Pussycat. They have arrived in their pea green boats. Let's get them to sail in. Here they are, actually made with this fabric bundle that we're showing you right now. How sweet. There's the Pussycat. So they're all individual, which is great. There's the little owl. Oh, how cute. How cute. You do get your toy stuffing and your wadding included in the bundle as well. And you've got the pea green boat, which I do believe is all made with by paper piecing, which is rather sweet. So that's how it keeps its wonderful structure. So you've got the Owl and the Pussycat. There's more than enough room in there. In fact, you can probably get another Pussycat in there as well. But you know what they say, 3's a crowd. So there you go. So there's the first bundle there, JNGC03 at £31.95. So you've got your 2 solids, your other 2 fabrics, plus the felt, plus the thread, plus the stuffing, plus the wadding as well. There's so much kitted up in that bundle for £31.95. And just think of the sheer pleasure of actually putting this together. It's going to be amazing. Now, if you 2 sit there for a second, we shall go through the second bundle for you. So that's the Aqua Bundle. Now we've got a little bit, wow, this is a nice sort of pastel bundle going on. So again, 2 solids for you, ½ a metre of each. These are beautiful colours. So you've got the baby blue, which is rather sweet, isn't it? And again, you've got grass green with this one, of course, because you've got to have the grass green. The grass green is in all of the bundles because, of course, that's what makes up the pea green boat, you see, or the grass green boat in this time around. Right, so you've got your linear texture, which this time is called lichen. That's, oh, lychee, sorry, yes. Lychee, lichen, it would both work. And you've also got a spotted fabric there as well for you, which is rather nice. What are we calling this one? Again, it's like a little sort of baby pink spotted. Cheeky pink! That's lovely. So you could be making, let's think about what we could do, because we've got the Pussycat here. How would you make your Pussycat from this bundle? Would you use their linear? Or a cheeky pink Pussycat? You could do it. Remember, you've got your Owl and your Pussycat to make, and of course, you've got the grass green for your boat. What a fun project. This is brilliant. So this one is XUGC97. Again, £31.95. Again, it does come with your felt and your thread and your stuffing and your wadding. Yes, everything you want. Everything you need is there. Brilliant. All you need really is, are we machine sewing this? Yes, right, so all you need is your sewing machine. Other than that, brilliant. Right, so bundle number 3, and then we can go and start making, is this one. This is beautiful. This is called Papaya and Sunshine, which is rather nice. So we've got your 2 solids, of course, which is your grass green, and your yellow, which is rather lovely. That's really lovely. It's sort of like a sunflower yellow, actually. Really, really bright and beautiful. Again, you've got your linear texture. I take it, is that the papaya? Oh, this is Sunshine, right, okay. Papaya is the spot-on fabric. So again, when you look at all of those working together, the green for the boat, that is very, very nice. And you're getting ½ a metre of each of those. Remember, of course, you're getting your thread, you're getting your felt, you're getting your stuffing and your wadding there as well included, all for £31.95. So that is bundle number 3 for you, NLGC28. All you need for your owl and your pussycat, which is fantastic. I love it. Right, should we go and do some doing? Shall I take my owl and pussycat with me? I will. I'll take them with you. We'll sail across. Come on. To-do, to-do, to-do. Oh, I don't know. I think I'm talking to Siri at the same time as well. And here she is. Here is lovely Jo Carter. Hello, my darling. How are you?
I'm well.
Mwah.
How are you?
Mwah. Good to see you. I'm very well, thank you. Oh, hang on. We're talking to Siri. Let's just stop him. There we go. Fantastic. Just in case he starts answering our questions, that would be a worry. No, I haven't seen you for ages because Jo and I worked together on one of the very, very first test shows, didn't we?
We did.
Way back when. In fact, it's coming up for a year ago, actually, isn't it? That kind of time, wasn't it? It was end of the year, wasn't it? Frightening stuff there. But now we're up and running, which is fantastic. And you're here all the time now, aren't you?
Fairly regularly.
Which is wonderful. And you were at the Festival of Course Owl. The owl is so, so cute, isn't it? But I love the way that you've created the, stand up now, created the pea green boat out of paper piecing as well. This is wonderful. I love it. Right, how much are we going to get done in an hour? We will find out right now. If you've got any questions for Jo, studio@sewingquarter.com is your email address, so please do get in touch. We would love to hear from you. The details on the screen, by the way, are the bundle that actually we made this one from, which is brilliant. Right, so then, Jo, where do we begin?
I'll begin with the cat, because it's the quickest one to do, so I won't go into too much depth with it. It's fairly straightforward.
But we will have a cat by the end of it.
I think...
Hopefully.
Possibly.
Possibly. Let's see how we get on. Let's see how we go. Sunday morning, after all. Leisurely morning.
Let's not set too high a challenge.
No. Let's see how we get on. Okie dokie.
So the cat is very simple. It's one front body piece, two back body pieces, the ears and the tail. So I'll start with the ears. Yeah. Because once the ears and the tail are done, you can just assemble it then. So this is one ear I've started already. Okay. When cutting out, they're not symmetrical, so you need to cut 4 ear pieces out. So 2 with the template one way, and then 2 with the template flipped over the other way. So we have mirror image pieces. Yeah. And to give them, because they're quilted, and to give them a little bit of depth, put the ears together, right sides together, one on top of the other, and then on top of a piece, a scrap piece of batting wadding. And then I'm just going to sew around the sides, leaving the top end, the bottom end open. Yeah. So I'll do that.
Fabulous.
I was a little bit unprepared. I realised I'd left some vital... Well, I don't know where I've left the vital pieces.
We left some vital pattern pieces somewhere, but that's fine. That happens, doesn't it? What we'll do is we'll search through the cutting room and everything else later, and we'll find them. But just as we finish, probably, we'll find them.
Hopefully I'm back on track now.
That's where they'll pop up.
Just that.
Oh, message for Jo already. Oh, Tracy in County Durham. Morning, Jo. We need a book from you. Pronto.
Thank you.
Yes, we do.
I would quite like to do a book.
It's so true, yeah. Definitely. A nice collection of all of your wonders, because there are so many.
I have done quite a few now.
How many different projects do you think you've...
I don't know. I couldn't guess, really. So I've stitched around the sides, and the wadding is also included in that seam. Yep. So now I'm just going to trim away the excess from around the sides.
Now the bundle Jo's using right here is the details on the bottom of the screen, by the way, running along that that strap there, the NLGC28.
And then I'm just going to clip the seam allowance at the tip of the ear, just so it turns, take some of the bulk out and it turns nicely at the top. So I'll turn that out the right way.
So just across the top.
Go. And then you can give the ears a little press at this point, not with too hot an iron, because you don't want to squish, make the body like a cracker inside it. And then I'm just going to quilt the front of the ears, well no, all through, it will be the back of the ears as well, that's the nature of quilting, isn't it? Yeah. Just to give them a little bit of extra detail. So I've gone around the edge and then echoed with triangles inside with those.
That's really cute, isn't it? So lovely. I love the expression on its face as well. It's just really, really lovely. And of course you can change that as you want to as well, can't you?
You can do whatever you want with the face, or add extra little details. Sometimes I'll add a little bit of embroidery just to make it a little bit more complex, really.
Yeah.
Because you can make them as simple and straightforward, or as difficult, not difficult, but
Yeah.
detailed as you'd like.
Could you, if you wanted to as well, I know not necessarily with what you're doing right now, but could you also, if you wanted, could you stuff the ears with something to give them a bit more substance if you wanted to? I mean, there's enough there as it is, but...
If you didn't want to quilt them, you could absolutely stuff them, or just leave them empty. There we go. I don't think... I'll do a little triangle in the centre, but I don't think it will.
That's lovely.
Okay.
Now, the Owl and the Pussycat is quite an unusual nursery rhyme to go for as well, isn't it? It's not the first one that pops up into your mind. Is it just because you were thinking, right, okay, I want a little project with more than one character in it?
Well, these were actually separate designs, and I thought
okay.
We decided to combine them because they did work quite well. Size-wise, they work well together. And everybody loves an owl. And a cat, actually. All quilters seem to have a cat. Yeah. I have a cat.
I have a cat. Love them. Love them. They're brilliant. Now, could I make a cat and an owl from the same ½ metre of fabric, or do I need to make them separately?
No, there's plenty of fabric. You could make them from the same fabric.
Okay, so I could have 2 cats the same colour.
You could.
So how many, with my bundle then, as I've got 2 ½ metres of solids and the other 2 ½ metres, how many cats and owls do you think, if I was just making those alone, how many do you think I'd get out of 1½ metre, for instance? I know that's a difficult question.
Well, I'm terrible at estimating as well. You could definitely get 2 or 3 cats and owls from the fabric. It's the boats.
Yeah.
Because there's actually quite a lot of
fabric.
Yes, you would only get 1 boat out of the kit.
Okay, but the grass green is in every bundle, which is great. So, and that takes up the lion's share of the fabric, does it?
It does. It takes up more than you think because it has the inside as well.
Yeah.
As the out.
I love it. I think it's great. I will show you in a second just how easy and simple the instructions are because they all come with them. That's something that Joe's very insistent on, aren't you, really, actually, is very, very clear, defined instructions that are words and pictures as well.
It's really easy to be intimidated by a pattern, especially if they're quite sparse sort of pictures and instruction, just the text. So I don't want it to be intimidating. So I do. I mean, whoever edits my patterns, they must take quite a lot out because I will explain absolutely everything and possibly go a bit far.
But that's good. I have bought kits previously where it has told you the basics, cut out this, that, there, and then it stops showing you pictures and just says words. Complete this with this stitch, and you think, oh, well, I have to look up that stitch now because I'm not familiar with it. So that's great, all of the way through, that you've got everything you need.
Even down to things like with this, because it's quilted, I don't put a lining fabric on the back. I just quilt it with the wadding and the top because it won't be seen. Yeah. And it doesn't catch. I've never had a problem with the wadding catching on the machine, so for me it's fine. But if you wanted to add a lining, that would be no problem. But things like that, I'd start making things. What does it need?
Just have a quick squiz at this. It'll come with your bundle anyway, so we won't go through all of it. But you see how simple the instructions are. They're there to help you. They're like a cuddle all the way through, aren't they? The project. I love it, and that's brilliant. That's exactly what you want. If you are starting out, or maybe you're just moving in a different direction, maybe you are dressmaking right now, whatever, and you want to try something different, like animals. You know, it's almost like a new medium all over again, isn't it?
That's the thing with sewing. There's so many different areas because I don't dressmake, and it's partly how intimidating a pattern can be, especially a dressmaking one, and so I do want to get into dressmaking at some point. But there are so many different areas to explore. Yeah.
Okay, so we've got our ears.
So ears are ready to go.
Okay, cool.
So they're made and quilted. The tail is really similar as well. It's the tail piece on top of some wadding and then just quilted over the top. I've just used wavy lines, really simple wavy lines. Yeah. And then once that's done, fold in half lengthways. Sew along the side and around the curved end and taper the end of the seam as much as possible, just so you don't get like a corner, a point in the end. But I'll show that in a minute.
Oh yes, because you've got a nice, perfectly rounded tail.
You want a rounded tail rather than...
It looks a bit odd out of context, but yes, it's... you know what I mean? When you get a shot of just a tail, it can look a little odd, but it is rounded. I'll just do it with my hands and go, that is round. There you go, that's all you need to know.
And with tight curves like this, I will just do a couple of stitches, pause with the needle down and pivot the fabric round. There we go. Try not to trip over the pedal. There at the end, I've just tried to round that seam off, just so we won't get a point there.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to clip, trying to avoid the quilting lines. I'm just going to clip V-shaped notches. This actual line here is just to make sure that the wadding is secured at the edge. So it doesn't matter clipping through that one.
Yes.
Because it's not meant as a quilting line as such. A couple of those.
Hannah's making pain noises. It's okay. It's only like grooming. It's fine. The cat doesn't feel a thing, no. Hannah. It's fine. Bless her.
Just a claw trim, or that's equivalent.
Yeah.
Although you don't trim cat's claws, do you?
Well, I have tried, but the cat's quite reluctant. I have to say, they don't like it. We've got another question from Jill. Will you put the batting on the bottom when sewing, or does it matter on position?
When I'm sewing the ears, I always like to have the batting underneath, but if you were worried about it catching, I suppose, although it would obscure... Have I got this question right? Yeah, I would always have the batting underneath.
Yes, so you can see where you're actually quilting, in the case of the ears, so you can see where you're...
The edge of the fabric. Yeah. But if you didn't want to quilt it, you don't need to quilt it. You could leave that out altogether. But this, because I've quilted this, I'm not going to put any extra stuffing in the tail.
Yeah.
It's got a little bit of body to it and a bit of flexibility.
Yeah.
You could always pop filling in.
And just show us the rounded end there as well. There you go.
So we've not got...
See, that's why the notches, Hannah. Just so get our lovely rounded edge. It's all right. No cats were harmed in the making of that round tail.
I mean, if she didn't like that, it's going to get fairly brutal in a bit with clipping.
See, now I'm thinking out loud as well. I'm thinking actually a similar kind of technique for things like octopus legs or, you know, whatever you wanted to make. It'd be great, wouldn't it?
So the front body, I have got one to that stage already. On top of some batting. Quilt it, again, I just use wavy lines just to create a bit of texture. It's nice and quick. Yeah. So once the quilting's done, trim the excess off around the sides. So I've got the batting on the back. And then the face piece. Position your face where you want it on the front, and then you could add a little bit of glue to hold it in place if you wanted before sewing. Yeah. I like to position, if I put the ears on, so it just sort of place the ears in position so that you can line up the face like that. Have it about there. Yeah. And then straight stitch on the machine, just go around the outside. Don't bother with the eye section, it's quite fiddly. Just go around in an oval around the snout.
Okay, right. Bit. Oh, because you're actually sewing the eyes completely in, aren't you?
And then, yes, by hand, embroidering the features on. And I always use my water erasable pen. I draw on the face.
Okay.
And then just backstitch over it.
Yeah, I suppose then you know that the shape is right before you've even started.
You do. It's awful when you've started doing a face and you think, oh, I'm really pleased with that. And then as you're finished, you think, oh, it's off to one side. Yeah. It's not in the right place.
And then you have to try and then stitch it correct, don't you? Because I've done this on some felt toys. I've put what I thought were perfect eyes, and on the second one I realised that it's either out of line. So then you start making the eyes bigger and wider, and you start trying to correct it in all kinds of weird ways.
You start with small eyes, and then one has to get bigger to
or longer, or smiles are worse. You know, when you're trying to put a smile on something.
It is trying to make both sides sort of even. So I've just backstitched a circle for the eye. And then I'll just fill it in. I work from the middle, the centre out, just with long stitches. And I'll go through the stitches I've made, just so you don't get any of the orange showing through.
Director Mike's just suggesting, could we put a little white dot in the middle of there as well if we wanted to try and create even more?
A little highlight there.
Yes.
Would look great.
But again, you have to get it in just the right position because then you're in danger there. I'm just looking at on our camera one, for some reason, there's like a panda's head. And with eyes, where you're accenting the eyes in white, if you get that shadow in the wrong place, it can, look a little bit startled or...
What you could do if you had a pin with a white pin head, the round ones.
Oh, yeah.
Pop them in, get your positioning, and then use those as a guide.
And also, if you wanted to, you could actually use beads if you wanted to. You could sew a white bead on, couldn't you? Like a Swarovski bead or something like that. You could sew that in if you wanted to. You could.
The only thing with beads, you have to be, if you're going to give it to a child.
Yeah, obviously be careful, yeah, absolutely.
Just fill in that.
But actually, I think these are the kind of things that you have around, don't you? See, I don't think you're ever too old for something like this.
No.
But yes, you're right. If it's for a child, then sew everything in because then you don't have any pieces. Patricia says, both my boys are indoors cats, so they have to go to the vets for pedicures.
Is it... Of course, the scratching outdoors would keep the claws.
Yeah, mine does as well. I have got a pair of those nail clippers, and I've watched YouTube videos of other people doing it. And they do it. They just get up behind the cat down there. The cat just sits there and goes, "Yeah, that's fine." They press out the pads and clip, 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 clip. Well, you know what? Jacob's not having any of that. Not having any of that. He's like a cat in a bag. Terrible. So I always end up going to the vet to do it. And you feel so stupid. I'm sorry. Can you cut the cat's nails? I mean, I can do my own fine, but the cat's no.
I was trying to give the cat a tablet this week.
Oh, that's fun, isn't it?
Well, in the end, I thought I can't do the posting into his mouth, so I put it in his food. No. But he knew.
They do.
He had none of it.
They're very sly as well, because sometimes you get the tablet into the cat's throat, and they kind of look at you as if to say, "Yeah, I've got it. It's fine." And then you let them go, thinking that's fine. So they just wander off, and then they just go, and they just spit it out, don't they? They're very cooperative cats, aren't they? Mm. They are brilliant. Oh, apparently that's the first spit on this set. There you go. Well, there you go. I got there first. Brilliant. Helen's been to the Festival of Quilts. Did you have a good time, Helen? Did you come back with a great, huge, or did you have somebody to carry for you? Because I know when I've been to the Festival of Quilts myself, there's lots of men who are spending most of the time sitting and waiting, and the other half of the time carrying these huge bags around the show. People's stash. You've been there, Jo Carter, haven't you?
I have.
You were there yesterday, weren't you?
I was. I spotted, some people had quite impressive hauls.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's what it's for, isn't it? That's what it's for, isn't it? Completely and utterly.
I like it, the people that go with bags on wheels. I think you're not playing around, you know you're going to get a lot.
Some people go with full-on sort of suitcases, don't they? Those great big sort of square trolleys.
Right, next bit would be and the pointed... The ear, one ear has sort of the dog ears cut out. I always worry I've got the wrong term. The dog ears trimmed off, but one has them on, just so that indicates it's the outer
okay, right, yes.
piece. And I'm just going to base these in place.
Yeah.
On the front, and then I'll base the tail on the back, and then we can assemble front and back.
Fantastic. See, we will have a cat by the end of the hour. Just a reminder, by the way, the bundle that we've made these beauties from is the details that are over there next to Jo, which is JNGC03. And the kit comes with 4 different fabrics. You've got your pea green fabric to make your boat, which is English paper piecing. And you've got your linear fabrics and also your felt, your thread. In fact, here's the bundle for $31.95. Everything that comes with it. It's brilliant. And it comes with more than enough toy stuffing and wadding to make many other projects as well. So you've got really some essentials for your stash there as well. And the bundle that Jo is using right now, which is the Papaya and Sunshine bundle, which we're making the Pussycat from right now. I forgot what you were because you're not really ready yet, are you? I'm looking, I'm thinking cat, dog, bear, where are we going? Cat, that's right, yes. Owl and the Pussycat, Derek. The clue's in the name. Anyway, the details for this bundle, including the spot on that Joe's using right here, is the details at the bottom of the screen, NLGC 28. In fact, there's the bundle. In fact, I'll go back over the other side and show you all the bundles in a wee while, but we're mid-cat, so...
I'm just going to base the tail in place on one of the back pieces, and it's marked in the pattern where that goes, so I'll base that on. Also, what I should have said before, when you're going to quilt this, try and avoid any quilting lines in these areas because we'll clip these corners, and you don't want to clip through your quilting lines.
Right.
Again, I've gone around the edge just to hold the fabric to the edge of the edge of the fabric to the wadding. So these are not. It doesn't matter if I cut through these.
Are these more notches going here then?
But these are going to be.
Right.
Clips here, just so that the corner, it doesn't pull too much at the corner and freeze the fabric.
Okay, so we're talking about on the cat. We're talking about where are we talking? We're talking about these sections here, aren't we? Just so that they don't under the arms, so to speak.
Under the arms.
So they don't pinch under the arms.
Yes.
It's a nice, flexible, comfortable cat. I don't know what I'm doing there. I'm so sorry. That's just not a move you need to see on a Sunday morning, is it? Really?
And this isn't how I normally put, sort the opening out, the turning opening in a toy. But for this one, because the back and the front will be exactly the same size, I like to sew them around the outside. But first of all, join the back pieces.
Yes.
So with your normal stitch length to about here, just beyond the top of the arm, set it then to the widest stitch length. And then just before you get to the tail, go back to the normal stitch length, back stitch again over the tail. And then we'll open up these wide stitches at the end to use as the turning. All
right, let's see some sewing machine action then. This is what we've come for.
And hopefully I will remember how to...
This is why I've got my ticket, you see. Front row seat.
I'm hoping I remember how to use the wide stitch setting on this machine.
Oh, OK.
I'm feeling confident.
It'll be fine.
It will be.
I've got every confidence in you, Jo.
Right, it's that one.
Anne in Cheshire's been in touch. She says, yeah, what you need is a large suitcase on wheels for the Festival of Quilt. Do you know, once I went on a 2-week holiday to Italy, and for some reason, and it was donkey's years ago, and so I bought this suitcase, which is almost, I could get in. It's that big, but it was on 4 wheels. And I'm thinking, that would be brilliant for the Festival of Quilts. But it was no good for that holiday, because half of that was a train to Italy via France. And, you know, trying to, in a sleeper carriage with a great big on-wheels suitcase just going dump to that end and then dump to that end all night long. All night long, through the Swiss Alps or whatever it was.
So the back's joined together, but here, I don't know whether they're visible, this section here has the wide stitches that I can open up.
Ah, OK, yes, you can see the difference, yeah.
So I've back-stitched here on the tail, just to make sure the tail's... I've not done it at this end because I'll hand close it, but I just want to make sure the tail is really well held in the seam. You don't want it opening up too far down and then you're trying to close it and catch the tail in as well.
Now this will be the interesting bit actually, because putting all this together and managing the stuffing will be interesting to see.
So you can pin this together. I'm just going to, for the sake of time, I'm just going to go for it. But then sew all around the outside to join front and back. So I'll...
Oh, she's freestyling.
I know.
Freestyling on a Sunday morning. No, you'll be fine, Jo.
I'll come a cropper one day.
You'll be fine. You'll be fine. You've been doing this for years.
I have. Use my needle down function. Make sure that lines up.
There's lots and lots of people who are buying the Berry and the Aqua bundle, by the way, which we've made our studio samples out of. Beautiful, aren't they? Really, really lovely fabrics, great colours. They're amazing. And that's the details over next to Jo, by the way. So the JNGC03, and there they are. In their pea green boats, there they go. Beautiful. You can also, you can make the owl and the pussycat in the boat for you. And if you had a friend who liked cats or owls or whatever, you can make enough. You've got enough to make some for them as well if you want to. It's a very caring, sharing kit, this, isn't it?
It is.
Yes, and if the first one doesn't quite go to plan, that can be the gifting one, can't it?
Always good to...
Always a good gift, isn't it? Got a bit more authenticity there, isn't it?
Yeah. I love a handmade gift, though.
Yeah, they're fantastic. There's nothing like it on a Sunday morning, is it? Just watching the old machine going. Very relaxing indeed.
It's nice, this one. It's got quite a soothing sound. It's not.
It is. It's lovely.
Not a noisy machine.
So I could stay here all day, but I'm being sent away.
Are you?
Being sent to Coventry. I'll be back.
Okay.
I'll be back. While Joe goes round there, we'll just go through all of the bundles. Now, of course, should we start with the berry and aqua bundle, actually? Because this is the most popular right now, because, of course, it's the one that we've made our Owl and Pussycat out of. Of course, we've got another cat on the way very, very soon. So this bundle has the 2.5 metres of solids. You've got the grass green solid that comes with every single one of these bundles, because, of course, that's to make your pea green boat. You've also got the aqua, which is wonderful, nice, bright, sort of sky blue, actually, sort of lending itself towards a turquoise. We've got the berry fabric, which is lovely. This is your linear fabric. And you also have the linear in duck egg as well. So this is brilliant. Remember, with every one of the bundles, you've got your white felt, you've got your orange felt, and your black thread skein as well. You've also got your wadding and your toy filling and the complete instructions. They're the most important thing, to be honest with you. So that is the most popular this morning. I guess that's because you've seen our completed Owl and Pussycat as well, JNGC03. And remember, you can make more than one of each. You've got pretty much one boat you can make from the grass green, but you can make multiple owls and pussycats. In fact, you could even make 2 cats from the same 1/2 metre if you wanted to, at least 2. I think Joe said maybe 2 verging on 3 actually from 1/2 metre, which is great. Let's look at this one now, which is the Sunshine Papaya, isn't it? So again, you've got the 1/2 metre of the grass green solid, and of course that's for your pea green boat. You've also got your, wow, I love that. Love it, love it, love it. That's the Sunshine, isn't it, that one? Oh, yellow, that's just the yellow. Oh, this is Sunshine. It's the linear that's yellow. There you go. It's the linear fabric that's yellow. And we've got the Spot On in Papaya, I think, isn't it? That's a beautiful bundle as well. And remember, on top of that comes your orange and your white felt, plus your thread, plus your wadding, and your toy filling as well. All of that for £31.95, NLGC 28. That's the one that Jo is working on at this very second. She's working and making the cat out of the papaya. And last but by no means least, and don't forget, step-by-step instructions. I mean, these are just brilliant. They are seriously good. They've got all of the templates that you need. Very, very simple. To maximise your fabric, you see, look at how many template pieces. I've seen quite a few templates for toys where the templates aren't set out in a way which maximises the fabric that you've got or the felt that you've got. So that's really, really good. And that comes with words and picture instructions. So your final bundle is this one here, which is just, again, beautiful. So in your solids, let's start with your solids again. You've got your grass green, of course, to make your pea green boat. Of course, that comes with every one. You also have your baby blue solid, a 1/2 metre of your baby blue solid. In your Spot On, you've got your cheeky pink. And in your, in the linear fabric, this is lychee, isn't it? No, I think it's lychee. Is it Lychee, Hannah? Oh, hang on. How's it spelt? Oh, Lichen. Oh, I was right earlier. It's lichen. You know, like when you have an old stone wall and it starts going a bit green and yellow and patches of this, that, and the other, that's lichen. No, lichen is fascinating, Hannah. Seriously. Very, very. We should do some research on lichen. So that's lichen, not lychee. But it would work either way, actually, because lychee is a very similar colour. You've also, of course, let's have a look at that bundle as well, because you've got your felt, you've got your thread, you've got your stuffing, and your wadding there as well for £31.95. So that's XUGC 97. Fantastic. So that's all 3 of the bundles. Should we go and see how our cat's getting on? Shall we? Come on, then. Come on then, let's go and see how the cat's getting on. So have we been all the way around? We have been all the way around.
All the way around, and then now I'll do it from the back just so I'm making sure I'm not catching too much in. Clip into these corners, avoiding quilting lines.
Yeah. So we've just been in, sorry, let's just show where we were just a second there, because I think we've just missed that. So we're just cutting some little notches into there between the legs. Would be the delicate area, wouldn't it? And now we're going under the arms.
And at the top of the arms here.
Okay.
And these aren't my quilting lines. Well, that one is, but it's long enough.
That was the securing line, wasn't it?
It was, for it not to matter.
That was like the guy rope on the tent.
And then cut V-shaped notches around the curves. I'm not going to do that now because time is marching on.
Yeah, so you do that all of the way around. So again, the same principle as the tail. Would you do it at the two outside kind of edges? How many would you do? As many as you needed to?
Yes, however, and you could always do a few, turn it the right way out and then see.
Do you know, I just realised halfway through that question, that was a bit like a question like, how long is a piece of string?
It is, a lot of things like this are down to personal preference. Some people don't like to clip at all. And then open up the wide stitches.
Here he comes, Hannah. Look,
turn it out.
Being born. Hannah takes this very, very seriously, you know. Look, how sweet.
So there we go, we have...
That's great, I love that.
Ready for stuffing?
That's beautiful. Should we stuff as well?
Well, I'm going to move on to the owl because we're running out of... If that's all right, should I?
I'll just have that as a glove puppet then, shall I? There you go. How sweet is that? It's really nice in that spot-on fabric. He looks like he's got his pyjamas on at the moment, doesn't he?
It does.
A bit like he's in a grow bag or a romper suit or something. We might finish him later then. We might finish him later.
I'll finish him in between, in between shows.
Yeah. I'd like that. I love that. It's very nice. Right. Sorry, move on, Derek. Shut up now.
Sorry, am I being...
No, it's all right. How long we got? Oh, that's all right. We've got plenty of time for this.
The easiest way to do the face for the owl is to cut out a larger piece of fabric than your template, because when you're stitching this on, it might slip and you don't want a wonky face. So if you sew this onto the fabric and then cut out the piece according to where that's positioned, you'll get a straight finish on the face. I'm just going to whiz around this with straight stitch a couple of times. That's
all right. I'm happy playing with the owl. It's fine. You can leave me to it. As you know, I am a big child. May well be 43, but we never stop being children, do we? This is brilliant. I love this kit. Because this feels like the next step. Because at the moment, I'm making felt toys from kits, and it's all felt and stuffing. Actually, moving on to fabric, this is quite a nice way, an easy way, a bridge from all felt to felt and fabric, isn't it?
Yes, felt's great because it doesn't fray, but I like to combine a few fabrics, really.
But do you know what? I think there's a real merit in, because I think when you're making felt toys and you're hand stitching, well, this is certainly my own experience, is that you're never quite happy with the stitching. You always kind of think, actually, I tried to be as neat as I could there, but still, it could look better. So this is where the machine stitching really puts you up to the next level, doesn't it? I think. Love it. Hello, lovely Pauline. She says, bags on wheels were a nightmare yesterday in the crowds. No one is looking down to see them. I tripped over two of them. That's the only thing, isn't it, at a Festival of Quilts sometimes, is that you do have to do a little bit of dancing and tangoing around people's cases and wheels and things. But that's half the fun of a show like that, isn't it?
I think it's such a busy show as well.
Yeah, it's very full on. It's wonderful, though. It's really, really good. We've had an email as well from Sarah, who has said, hi, Joe and Derek. Just wanted to say I went to the Festival of Quilts yesterday. It was the first time she'd been, and she was completely blown away. She was lucky enough to meet you, Joe.
I remember.
And it was a great inspiration. Oh, that's nice, Joe, isn't it?
It's fab. And people, I think Sarah brought her toys. I mean, she's made so many, and they're amazing. She brought them along for me to see, which is, I mean, I love seeing pictures, but seeing them in the flesh as well. But seeing how she'd made them her own by adding, turning the penguin think it was a penguin into a pencil case, adding a zip in the back. And I love that people take the patterns and do their own, and make them their own, do their own thing with them, and adapt them to suit their needs. And
did you get some ideas from Sarah?
Yeah. I won't.
You have to watch. You'll see your idea appearing very, very soon, Sarah. You never know. No, that's brilliant, though, because this community is all about sharing as well, isn't it? It's about taking the inspiration from designers like Jo and then adapting it, making your own thing, and then sharing that. It's like ripples on a pond, isn't it, really?
But I got plenty of ideas. But her work was brilliant. Right, so I'll cut this out quickly. I'm going to do this one quite hastily because I have a made-up one. So I'll just go through the key points with the owl.
Yeah, she's making an owl brooch for herself for this top, aren't you, really? Because you match so beautifully.
I didn't realise I was coordinating. There we go. Just do that hastily.
Very good.
But you can do any stitch. I've just done a straight stitch there for speed, but I think that one's a zigzag. I've done one. Should I bring it out? So This is the one that's already made with a machine
let's
blanket
see that one.
stitch.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Oh, so soft as well. Do you know, because the look of this fabric is so super soft, almost like a velvet. How cute is that? Imagine making Easter chicks from that kind of colour. That would be so sweet as well, wouldn't it? So you've used the blanket stitch there just around the edge of the felt, which is just right for an owl as well, isn't it? Beautiful. In fact, almost on a lot of owls, what they'll do is almost use a blanket stitch sort of into the owl's eyes, won't they? Almost like great big eyelashes, but all the way around, because their eyes are quite deep, aren't they?
I'd never used, it was Lucy. Lucy Brennan said, have you ever used the blanket stitch on the sewing machine? And I hadn't, and since.
Oh, really?
And I love it now. It does give it such a nice finish.
Very good, yeah. It is. It's a lovely, neat edge, isn't it? Very sweet. Right, OK, where do we go from here?
The wings are the same as the cat's ears, so wings right side together, on top of a piece of wadding, and then stitch around the outside. I'll make this one quickly.
Are we stuffing this out?
Would you like to stuff? I'm not sure how much time we've got. So
do you know what? I'm happy to stand here and get stuffed on my own. That's fine. Not a problem. Not that I know the right method for doing this, but I guess just go for it, hey?
Yeah.
Yeah?
There's no great science.
I can't go wrong, can I?
You can't.
OK. That's good. I've got a job to do. We've got some action to see while I'm stuffing.
Sorry, I didn't mean to, give you more work to do.
No, it's fine. It's fine. It's brilliant for a Sunday morning. I actually love when I'm making felt toys, which I'm doing quite a lot at the moment. I have now got a big sewing case. I blame you, Jo Carter, quite frankly. From the test shows, I got all inspired by being involved in the setup of the sewing quarter. And it got me inspired, and I love it. And actually, my favourite part of making the felt toys is actually deciding what to stuff the animals with, because some need to be weightier, and then actually doing it, because that's kind of like the finishing touch, isn't it? Love it. Brilliant.
So I've left this side of the wing open.
Yeah.
On top of the wadding, I'm just going to trim away the excess. And then the clipping, how to clip the wings, I think is in the pattern, but just clip into the internal corner, then clip away the tip, and then V-shaped notches in the curve.
That's brilliant. Got 8 minutes. I'll have this stuffed in 8 minutes, Mike. Don't worry, it's fine. All sorted. We've got 8 minutes left on the hour. I would have finished this by then.
Okay.
All be fine. All be fine. I've got. Oh no, is this Derek or is
That's
this
Derek.
Is Derek?
That's,
yeah. I see. I'm honoured that a dobber was named after me. So I'm, so even though I'm not around all the time, I feel like a part of me is still here, which is wonderful.
No, these wings can be quilted around. I have done those ones in the same way as the ears.
Let me show you. There you go.
Top stitch around the edge, and I've taken it in quite a bit to give it a bit more definition there.
Yeah.
But for this one, I'm just going to leave this one as it is.
I'm just going to snip that little end off there, if that's all right.
Have I left some thread?
No, it's all right. It's fine. You know what it's like. There's thread everywhere here. I was surprised I was let loose with some scissors then.
I did have a mum at the school gate who asked me what I did once, and when I told her, she said, "Oh, that's why you always have thread all over you at pick-up time." I was like, it's true, that's the reason.
Wow.
Now for the beak, you could embroider a beak on. I've embroidered the eyes in black. Same way as for... I'll just draw some eyes on quickly. And you can embroider a beak on or use a triangle of the felt and just top stitch around the edges, as I've done for that one. And then the wings go into these darts here on the side of this side body piece.
I'm loving this.
So position them in.
I am listening as well still, I promise you.
And make sure both sides of the body are level and even, so that they'll be caught in, the seam allowance will be even on both sides.
Yeah.
I'll pop a little pin in that.
Look at that. I'm as proud as if I made the whole thing myself.
You can tell people you did.
That's brilliant. We maybe need just a little bit more up north there, but you know, I think we're there. I think we're there. That's beautiful. I love it in the yellow. And again, I think when it comes to Easter chicks time and everything else, using the same kind of principles, that'd be perfect, won't it? Love it.
So there we go. I've sewn the darts and tapered the end again, just so you get more of a smooth curve here rather than a point.
Yeah.
And that's how the wings go in. Now close the dart at the top. Now the pocket, this one I left the pocket off. The other one I popped the pocket on. It's entirely optional. You might not want a pocket on the front.
There you go.
But I quilted the front of the pocket and then trimmed away the excess batting. And then again, once that was done, stitched right sides together, stitched them together along the top, folded them over, gave them a press, and then I quilted this one on both sides.
And how did you quilt that in the machine, getting that shape?
That was a stitch.
That's a stitch, is it?
Yes,
okay.
Lots of machines have different fancy stitches. This one would do something similar. This for the 25 might be nice.
Yeah. Because that's perfect for feathers, actually, isn't it?
Does it? Gives it nice sort of...
really nice sort of definition, doesn't it? Oh, look, there's two together now. Oh, how cute. Aren't they beautiful? Sorry, I'll just move that out of the way. There you go. There you go. And fabulous. Oh, is it? Apparently a group of owls is called a parliament.
A parliament of owls.
Yeah, parliament. That's weird, isn't it? Yeah, wisdom, I suppose that's probably what that's all about, isn't it?
Does two constitute a parliament then, do you think?
Is two enough for a parliament, or does it just have to be more than one? Is that the rule? Oh, okay. Well, don't come to us with half information, Hannah.
That might be a parliament if I had.
Yeah, okay, so 3. Yes, because you'd need a head, wouldn't you? And at least 2 members, wouldn't you, for a parliament? Or are we looking into this too deeply, do you think?
Maybe we're overthinking.
Maybe we need to just get a life. They are cute, though.
Close the dart at the top.
Ah, okay, right, yes.
And there's one here on this side. How much time? We've not got much time left, have we? And I want to...
How many minutes have we got left?
Skip onto the boat at some point.
We've got a minute and a half left with you, Jo. No pressure.
A minute and a half, right, okay. The tail is done in exactly the same way.
As the ears?
As the ears. Pretend I've got this piece to the same stage as this one. Well, best close the dart, otherwise that will go wrong.
Yeah.
I join, to get an even finish on the owl, and this is all in the pattern, but I start at the top, centre, and work down each side. So I do it in 2 separate goes. Yeah. So I join these together, and actually somebody asked me this. Oh, I've sewn the dart the wrong way. That's a mistake. Let's pretend that's not happened either.
It's all right. It's the last 2 minutes, you see.
I am rushing. I'll just try and illustrate this. So I would join these 2 together, not all the way down the back though, just at the top to join them. Yes. And then I would line those darts up and sew down each side at a time, just to make sure it's on evenly. Yeah. And then it's just adding the base and the tail for the owl. And that's a good idea, actually, going up each side individually. Again, something I've learned to my cost sometimes is if you try and go right the way around in one. It can shift and, yes. Wonky bear. I've got one to prove it. I've got one. Brilliant, Jo. Thank you very much. I love these. I think they're brilliant. And now this one's all stuffed. Just needs a little bit of zipping up now, and he'll be fine. So he might need a little bit of an operation, but apart from that, he's all done. And we haven't got time for the boat. Have we not? We have no time for the boat.
But it's in the instructions.
It is.
And Jo spent lots of time this morning doing all of the paper piecing for the boat. We can have a look at the paper piecing very, very quickly. But
and here's a part paper pieced one. That's one half.
And there you go. And there is the boat. Does come with complete instructions though. So we did quite well because we got the.
There's a lot to make.
We got the pussycat we got pussycat, flat pussycat and stuffed owl. I could have done the pussycat while I was stood there. Brilliant. Love them. Love them. Right, okay, I've got to run to the bundles just before we run out of time. I'll see you, Jo, at 10.
See you at
10? See you at 10. Right, here is the bundle that Jo has been using, which is this one, which is the Sunshine Papaya, isn't it? So you've got your 2.5 meters of solids, which are your yellow and your grass green. Grass green, of course, to make the pea green boat. You've got your spot-on papaya, and you've got the Sunshine linear. I always forget the name of that, linear texture fabric. Plus, of course, your orange felt and your white felt and your thread and your wadding and your stuffing, all there for $31.95. Very, very nice indeed. It's a beautiful, beautiful bundle, this set. And then the original, the ones where you've seen our fully made up Owl and Pussycat, is this bundle here, which is the berry and aqua, isn't it? Which is beautiful. So you have got your grass green, of course, for the boat. We've got the duck egg, was this one? Aqua, that's right, yes, and duck egg is the linear, isn't it? And then we've got the berry in the linear as well, which is this bundle here. Again, you get your felt and you get your thread with that bundle as well. So it's 1/2 meter of the 4 fabrics, plus your felt, plus your thread, plus your stuffing, plus your wadding as well. It's all there, and that's the full made-up kit that we've been showing you through the morning. JNGC03 at £31 and 95 pence. And the last one, very, very quickly, is this one over here, which I've got over here. Very organised this morning, I'm very organised. Right, okay, here we are. So your 2 solids, your 1/2 metre of your grass green again, and the baby blue, and the linear, which is the lichen, and the spot on, which is the cheeky pink. And you also, of course, get your felt and your thread and your wadding and your stuffing there as well. Again, £31 and 95 pence. Anything else that I haven't run through, remember, they all come with complete instructions. Give us a call, 0800 112 4433. Anyway, listen, I'll be back in 3 minutes from now. Stay with me here at Sewing Quarter.
Follow us on Pinterest. Search for our Sewing Quarter page and follow us to discover sewing work we create and love.
So today I'm going to be showing you how to sew the herringbone stitch, but in this case using it for hems. So again, this is really great for materials that have stretch in it because of the nature of the stitches. So I'll just move that out of the way. So this is my mock hem. You can see it's a single hem, and I probably would have finished this either with a pinking shear or with an overlocking stitch. So I've got a needle and thread. It's embroidery thread, so you can see what we're doing, and I have put a knot in the end. So I'm going to start through the single hem of my fabric first. So it's exactly the same stitch, but this time you're going to be going across the fabric, joining the two together. So I'm going to bring this across first. I'm going to catch a couple of stitches going from right to left before coming back over to my hem. But this time I only want to go through that fabric, so I don't want to be seeing it here. So this is how you would do your herringbone stitch, but to secure a hem.
On Monday the 14th of August, we're getting a very special visit from dressmaking dab hand Paul Clarke. Paul impressed the nation with his sewing skills when he appeared as a contestant on the Great British Sewing Bee. Whether he's making everyday clothing or theatrical costumes, Paul's technical wizardry and love of colour shine through in his work. Paul joins us to make a chef's apron, as featured in the fabulous Great British Sewing Bee book, as well as the perfect pair of capri trousers. And with 30 years of experience behind him, Paul will offer plenty of helpful tips and sewing secrets along the way. So join us for dressmaking with Paul Clarke on Monday the 14th of August at 9 a.m. and 11 a.m, only on Sewing Quarter, Freeview Channel 78.
Welcome back. Hour number 2 on Sunday morning here on the Sewing Quarter. I'm sorry, everything finished a little bit chaotically in the last hour. I was trying to spit out too many words in 10 seconds. But anyway, any details that you missed on the fabulous Owl and the Pussycat bundles, which have been very, very busy indeed this morning, it's the kind of project that you can just sort of pick up and go back to again and again and again. Because you have so much fabric to make so many different pieces, make sure you get one of those, because they just look a lot of fun, and they're really nice sort of professionally finished pieces, the kind of which that you'd normally go out into stores and sort of buy as gifts for other people, which is fantastic. So anything you missed, any item numbers, any help you need whatsoever, there's 3 ways of getting a hold of us, basically. You can email through to the gallery right now. Hannah's getting your emails upstairs, studio@sewingquarter.com, or you can go to the website, and right next to the live player, there's a little message box in there, so you can actually send us. So there's the email address, studio@sewingquarter.com, or of course you can go via the website, and next to the player there is that little oval message box where you can send us a message straight through into the studio. So anything you miss, and Joe is with me again at 10 o'clock actually with a completely different project. In fact, we're doing a lovely big sort of lounge cat door stop coming up at 10 o'clock. We love our cats. Keep your cat stories coming through as well, by the way, because I've got a cat. I absolutely love them. They are wonderful. Please do. If you've been to the Festival of Quilts over the weekends as well, maybe maybe it's the last day today, isn't it? I think it's the last day today, but if you're maybe planning a trip, I'm guessing actually if you're planning a trip, you're probably already there, I would imagine. But if you are going later on today, drop us a little message and make sure you come and see us as well, because we have our Sewing Quarter Cafe at the Festival of Quilts. And actually, I do believe that I might well be on a screen right now at Festival of Quilts. So if you are watching in our cafe, hello. Here I am, the other side of Birmingham. In the quiet, the peace and quiet of the studio. Right, this hour is all about bags of fun, and we've got lots and lots of different projects to show you. I'm not about to make a bag, so don't worry, it's all fine. I know I've stuffed an owl so far, but that's about as far as my experience goes so far. But we're going to give you all the bundles, all the tools that you need to actually make some really, really interesting bag projects, actually. Starting with this one here. Now, this is a really great. In fact, you can kind of interpret this as many, many different kind of bags. You could use it completely and utterly as a storage bag for your stash if you do go to a group or something like that, and you want somewhere to keep your part makes, your scissors, your cutters, whatever it might be. But actually, I think this makes a really nice sort of practical bag. In fact, Hayley and I were talking about this. Hannah and I, should I say, we're talking about this this morning. And actually, I think this would make a great beach bag. Do you know what I mean? If you're away on holiday, or if you've got a newborn, you never realise until your baby is born just how many things, bits of stuff that you need, and how many bags. Now, I don't have children myself, but I do see, and there's lots of friends of mine that up to the point the baby arrived, they're like kids and they love it. It's so exciting. When the baby arrives and the sheer practicality of, I'm coming round for coffee, but I just need to pack a few bags to come and visit you, because I'll need this and that and this and a pot of that and a little bit of that and a bottle warmer and all of those kind of things. So I think this also would make a great bag for that. So let's take it over then, shall we? Shall we go for a little wander? Come on. I'll bring my bag with me very surreptitiously. This is wonderful. Now, this was made up for us by the fabulous Jennifer Taylor. But, of course, if you want details of the show where it was on, where Jennifer made this very, very bag, so you can get all of the techniques, then please just email through to Hannah in the Gallery right now. It's studio, that sounded like an email address, didn't it? hannahInthegallery.com. I don't know if that exists, by the way, so don't go and look. studio@sewingquarter.com. Drop us an email through now, and Hannah will pick that up, and she'll send you, or we'll get one of the team to send you the date and the link of the YouTube video where Jennifer actually made the bag. Now, we've got some different fabrics to make this bag here, which is really, really lovely. We've got all of the essentials that you will need to be able to make it if you wanted to. I have to say, size-wise and practicality-wise, it's just perfect, isn't it? The size is brilliant. It's really, really good. I'll just take the rotary cutter out. You could use it for whatever you wanted to. So I'll take the tape measure and the rotary cutter out for a second, pop those down there. And you can think of this bag in lots and lots of different contexts. In fact, if you were going to Festival of Quilts or a show or an equivalent like that, you get all of your little purchases, couldn't you? You know, tucked away in the pockets there, and you've still got oodles of space. In fact, I'll just take out, we've got a bag of stuffing in there at the moment just to pad it out a bit. But on the inside, you've got lots and lots of space, and there are even pockets. I don't know whether you can see at the back there. There are even pockets on the inside as well. So you've got nice big pockets here, nice deep pockets. So again, it's a brilliant bag to have. Now, I'll just stuff it back up for you a second, just so you can see it. That's a good looking bag, actually. I'm thinking beach bag. Do you know what I mean? I'm thinking beach bag. Now, here's the fabric bundle that we have, so you can make this tote bag. And the feature fabric is this, which is this wonderful stripe fabric. I love this. I love the feel of this fabric as well. It almost feels like a sort of deck chair canvas kind of feel to it. It's really, really nice. It's a linen look, pink stripe fabric. You have got 3 meters, is that right? 2 meters of this, which is brilliant. So 4 units, 4.5 meters, 2 meters of it to use. I love it. Again, it's got a nice sheen to it. It's really, again, if you wanted to make any other kind of tote, if you wanted to adapt the pattern that we've got for this tote and just make it a plain bag with the pockets all on the inside rather than the outside, this fabric would be amazing for that, because it's got a real strength and a real sort of depth to it. I don't know if I can just get sort of one part out there, but you can see it's got a real rigidity to the fabric. And again, even if I show you the reverse there, you can see that really shows it off really nicely, actually, how it's almost like that deck chair kind of, you know, rigidity, the deck chair fabric, which is what you want with a bag, isn't it? Because you're going to be using it again and again and again. So you get 2 meters of that, and you've got your 2 solids as well, which is great for making the pockets and the lining. You've got your cornflower blue, 1/2 meter of your cornflower blue, and you've also got cotton canvas ivory, which again is that same brilliant depth and texture. I know it's difficult. You almost need sort of feel-o-vision, really. But if I just put my hand underneath just one layer of that, I mean, that really does. It almost feels like a calico, because it's really quite, you know, really, really business, very, very substantial fabric, you know, strong as houses as well, which is great. So you've got 1/2 meter of that. You have got the pattern, of course, which is brilliant. It's a McCall's pattern, which is brilliant. And there are 3 different variants, actually, that you can make. So you can make the bag as we have done with the pockets on the outside. You can actually, you can see here as well, you can add a drawstring to that if you wanted to. So if you wanted to close the centre of that, which would be brilliant, actually, for your sewing stash, because you could have your various other sort of storage boxes and things in there. That would be brilliant. Again, Hannah's thinking actually as a carry-on bag, you know, if you're flying, you could get your magazines and, you know, other bits and pieces in there. And of course, see, I think for new parents, and I think a lot of people are in this situation, isn't everyone having babies? Is there a baby boom going on at the moment? I just feel like there's lots and lots of people having babies at the moment. Are there? I don't know. Maybe it's just my imagination. But I think as a baby bag, I think this will be just amazing, because it never occurs to you until the baby arrives. And I'm not speaking from experience here. I'm just speaking from just observing friends of mine. as soon as they have a baby come along, then suddenly they go, oh gosh, you know, it's not like you can just say, right, grab the baby, we're off for so-and-so. You have to, it's like a military operation, isn't it? There's like a 3-hour operation to pack all the bags. We need the blanket, and we need the changing mat, and we need the powder and the wipes and the nappies and the food and the drink and the milk and the this and the that and the other. Yeah, it does sound fun, doesn't it? I'm really bigging it up there. Let's all have babies, people, shall we? But you know what? It does take a lot of thinking about. So this kind of bag, I just think would be, for new mums, would just be perfect. It does also come, this kit, with the iron-on interfacing as well. It's funny, last night, yesterday afternoon, should I say, I was on air on our sister channel, Jewellery Maker, and one of the guest experts there was making a wonderful sort of seed bead necklace, and she actually drew the design onto interfacing and actually put that onto some backing and then seed bead embroidered into it to make a necklace. It was fantastic. So I was sending everyone from Jewellery Maker yesterday over here to get their iron-on interfacing. It comes as part of your kit. You're also getting the Gutermann thread there as well, which coordinates beautifully with the cornflower blue in this bundle. Now, for $37.45, I have to say, you're getting an awful lot. You're also getting your craft wadding as well. Oh, now, I just need to let you know straight away, because as is the nature of the sewing quarter, everything is very, very popular. And what happens is people, as soon as the items arrive on the website, tend to say, right, OK, I'm having that. I like the idea of that. If you want, by the way, the link of the day where Jennifer Taylor made this bag, because I'm afraid I'm not a dab hand with a machine yet, or fabric, but just drop us an email, studio@sewingquarter.com, and we can send you the link for the show where Jennifer made the bag. Now, there are less than 10 of these available, so we're talking about single figure availability right here. And now, I know on a Sunday morning, Sundays are one of our busiest mornings here at the Sewing Quarter. So again, for $37.45, I would say add that to your order as quickly as you can if you want it, because again, if you think of the sheer practicality of this bag, I mean, a 360-degree bag, and I just think, completely and utterly, it's young mums. Again, the reason why I say that, if you look at the way that it's lined, first of all, you can see everything that's going on inside the bag. And as well as having all the pockets on the outside, I mean, I know we're thinking maybe, you know, a practical sewing bag that if you do have a group or you go to a group, you know, you've got places to keep your fabric, your cutters, your rulers, your bits and your pieces. And they go all of the way round, which I love. So there's just pockets galore in that. I think if you were going to a show like Festival of Quilts or a garden show or whatever it may be, and you were doing a little bit of shopping, even if you're going out to a weekend fair of any sort, really, going to a farmer's market or something like that, that would be a perfect bag. Because you can have your wonky veg round the outside, look very, very authentic. Let's just remind you of the fabrics that are in here, because this is the fabric bundle, so it's a different fabric than we originally made it in. If you're looking for that particular fabric, again, details of that, if we have it, will be tied in with the day that Jennifer Taylor made this bag. But this fabric is just, oh, I love it. I love it. It's a linen look fabric, so it's a printed stripe, pink stripe. It's gorgeous. The strength of this fabric is enormous. It really does feel like a deck chair canvas to me. I love it. You're also, so you're getting 2 meters of that, and you're getting half a meter. Is it half a meter or 1 meter? Half a meter, yes, of this lovely ivory white. And again, this is a linen look as well, isn't it, this one? She's beautiful. Love it. Absolutely love it. And you've got the cornflower blue. Now, of course, they are for, you know, for the outside of the bag. They're for the trims. They're for the handles. Now, you can use different methods for the handles if you want to. So if we've got any left of those, we will come back and have another look later, but it might just be that we only see this the once. I don't nag about online baskets. I make it a policy never to do, but because we have such a low number of those, if you have got it in a basket, you know what you need to do. As I always say, Jill at till number 6 is ready to check you out, and off you go. Cashier number 6, please. Fantastic. Right, okay, let's take this back with me, and we'll go and choose another bag then, shall we? Right, off we go. We're tripping over everything. Right, let's move now let's swap one large bag for another then, shall we? So we'll pop that one over there. That's soon to sell out, by the way, so that could be gone by the time I next come back over here. This one is brilliant. Now, we're going to make this bag with a different set of fabrics, but this is an example of when we've made it before. This is a brilliant bag because if you need something to store things like your cutting mats and big quilting rulers and larger pieces, which, you know, if you don't look after them, they do end up warping and bending and everything else. You could actually either have this sort of hanging on the back of a door, it could be hanging on something. And of course, if you're going to classes, then this is a really, really good bag. Now, the first time we looked at this bag this morning, I couldn't really figure out why it had such an open top. And then I realised that actually having that full open top there, you see if I flap it through, it's a joy for anyone who sews or quilts because you can just get so much more into it. And you haven't got that restriction of a top that kind of closes down. Right, I love this. Right, come on then, let's go back over. Let's go back over, shall we? I might take that little wooden stand actually just to stand it up, you know, just for display purposes only. I think we could do with one of those. That's lovely. Right, okie dokie. Right, so there is the bag, which is beautiful. I love it. I really, really do. We're going to make it in different fabric. I say we're going to make it. You will be making it. Please do send me the pictures. I'd love to see them. But we will be showing it to you with different fabrics, but to make the same bag. Now, this bag comes from this book here, which you will get in the bundle. It's a Debbie Shaw book. Now, we all know Debbie Shaw, particularly viewers on television know Debbie Shaw and her skills. And I tell you what, her projects are so imaginative. They're brilliant. They're really, really good. And this is sewing room accessories. So you've got everything there from, you know, pin cushions. You've got basic techniques going through there. Pumpkin pin cushion, which looks really nice. Nice organisers and tidies, machine covers. Look at that. There's a nice bag there as well, isn't it? Very, very nice. That's nice. So there are going to be different variety of projects. Sewing circles. Looks like a lovely fabric roll there. That's nice, isn't it? Ironing station. That's a good idea, isn't it? That's a very, very good idea. Like that. But we are going... Let's see if I can find the one that we're doing in here. Right, can you remember where it was, Hannah? Let's see. See if I can find it. It will be here. We should have marked the page. We'll find it in a second. Should we go through the bundle and then I'll find it? Because you're getting the book in the bundle anyway as well. Always good to have a Debbie Shaw book, isn't it? They're wonderful. So, fabric-wise, we're using a gorgeous pheasant fabric here. In fact, I'm going to open this up a little bit more, actually, because I think this is delicious. I love this. This is very, very country classic. It's wonderful. Look at that. Look at that. It is phenomenal, isn't it? Really, really good. I love the detailing in the pheasants. They're great, aren't they? They've got fabulous colour through them, real character. Now, is that the male or the female? I can never remember which way around it is. It's the male, isn't it? The male's more colourful. That's right, because the female's a little plainer, isn't she? And the male's a bit of a strutter. Why does it always works like that, doesn't it, with birds? The males are the big old colourful, flamboyant characters, and the females are a little more muted, aren't they? So you're getting a metre of the pheasant fabric, which is, again, it's beautiful. The strength of this fabric is really its key. If I just bring you down to just one sort of piece of it here and just sort of move it around, I think it just gives you the idea of the strength of the fabric. It's phenomenal. Really nice. So that's the main fabric for the bag, of course. So that will be the main sort of top fabric there, and you're getting a whole metre of that. Now I think Jay has found the page. So let me grab the Debbie Shaw book. Thank you, Jay. You're a star and a half. Right, here it is. Oh, look at that paper piece bookmark as well. Very good. I like it. See, always thinking fabric. So here we are. Here's the original project in the book. So again, very, very simple instructions in this. And we've made the bag to those particular, or very close to those particular fabrics that were in the book themselves, which is very, very nice. But of course, because we're moving to that time of the year where it's a little bit more autumnal, we thought we'd use a different palette of colours this time around. So you've got a metre of your pheasant fabric. We've got 2 linear fabrics here, so 2 ½ meters of linear fabrics. We've got the cream and we've got the, oh, hang on a second, right. This one is grenadine, isn't it? Right, okay, so cream and grenadine. Grenadine's a metre, cream is ½ metre, and then you've got your solid here, which is your mocha, which is ½ metre, and you've got some spot on here as well, haven't you? Which is, what are we calling that one? Stone. That's a really nice sort of colour mix, isn't it? You can imagine that in all working really nicely in this bag project. If I again just introduce a bit of the pheasant in there, you see how it all sort of links in beautifully. Lovely. You also get the Gutermann thread in that lovely, it's almost that mocha tone, isn't it? And you also get, now we don't have buttons on our particular one here, and you don't have to use buttons. In fact, I think the pattern in the instructions in the book actually sort of recommend sort of metal magnetic studs. But we thought rather nice, really, really nicely with the grenadine and indeed the colouring in the pheasant as well. So we thought these little sort of pearlescent red buttons, I do think they are shell buttons. Don't quote me, but they do look like they're made of shell, which has been dyed this gorgeous sort of velvety red. But again, if you just think about the grenadine as well, yeah, they key in really nicely with each other, don't they? Very, very nice. So this kit, and there's so much in it actually, isn't it? So you get, how much do you get of the pheasant fabric? In the pheasant, is it a metre? So a metre of the pheasant fabric, a metre of the grenadine, ½ metre of your linear stone, I think it was, no, or linear cream, that's right. Your spot-on stone ½ metre, plus your mocha solid ½ metre, plus your Gutermann thread, plus your interfacing, plus your wadding as well. You get your wadding, and the buttons, and the Debbie Shaw book. That's amazing. That's really good. And I'll just give you another quick look. I'll pick up the final bag in just a second as well and just show you how practical it is, because this is a cutting mat carrier. But I'm thinking actually anyone with large books that needs to port those around as well. You know, you're off to the library or to school or to college or whatever. I think this would make a great teacher's bag actually, wouldn't it? You know, if you've got a whole big pile of marking as a teacher, again, I think this would be phenomenal as well because it doesn't have that restriction. Let me show you the original bag again, because the bag itself kind of shows its own practicality when you see it, because it's got the pockets that are in the front. And again, you know, we've sort of mocked it up as a sewing room bag, because of course here we are at the sewing quarters. We've got our tape measure in there, we've got Derek in there, and the scissors. And inside, because you're not restricted on the inside, you've got that sort of flap that opens up. You can add buttons to the top if you want to, but also you don't have to. You could leave that completely open. And look at the size of the cutting mat that's actually fitting inside there. How many bags do you have right now that actually could accommodate, just so simply and easily, a large cutting mat, for instance, or a quilting ruler or something like that? I think that's really, really practical. Now, again, if you want the YouTube video for when this was originally made on the sewing quarter, the bag and the project itself, then just email through to us, studio@sewingquarter.com, and we will send you the link of the day when we did that. But again, just a quick whiz again through, honestly can't believe how big this bundle is. It's ridiculous. If you think about it, $49.95. You first of all, and this is not the only project in the book. There are so many. This is a Debbie Shaw book, and this is called Sewing Room Essentials. So it has so much going on. You know, you want to make a tidy caddy. You want to make, I mustn't lose my page on there. You've also got other projects here as well. I think that's a little organizer, is it? While you're working. Seam press. Ironing station, really, really good practical projects, you know, all step by step, pin and pattern pouch. See, that's good, isn't it, for the edge of your desk? Again, rather than them being all over the desk, because of course you need that to lay out your fabric, don't you? Sewing book cover, You know, and that could be sewing book cover, that could be recipe book cover, that could be so many books, couldn't it, really? And again, the project to make this bag is just one of the projects. In fact, there are 15 different projects in that book, and the book is included in the bundle as well. Plus the metre of the pheasant fabric, the metre of the grenadine. You know, you've got the solid, the spot on. I just think this is such a big, comprehensive kit. If you think about it, the buttons are there, the interfacing is there, the wadding is there for you as well, and under £50. And I'm guessing that you are going to have more than enough fabric left over for your other projects as well. And you might well come back to us for longer lengths of the grenadine, for instance, which is a fabulous colour. And again, look at how we've teamed up the pheasant and the grenadine and the buttons in this kit to all just perfectly coordinate with each other. I just think, honestly, seriously, brilliant, like matches made in heaven. They are really good. The team behind the Sewing Quarter, you know, they have this knowledge, which is phenomenal. Right, okay, let's take this bag back over then, shall we? Because we've got another one to see, and time is marching on. Waits for no man, as we know, so I'll take this with me, and off we go. Bye, Debbie. There she goes. Right. And back over. I shall pop that there. Of course, I forgot the crate, but never mind. I will show you this third bag that we've got here. The one we started with, this one, by the way, just to let you know, we are down to a handful remaining. So again, if you have that in your basket, the kit to make this bag here in different fabrics, obviously. We did it in that lovely pink stripe fabric. In fact, I'll show you the bundle on that one again, just very, very quickly. There's the details. RFGC52 is the pink stripe tote bag pattern. So you've got the pattern, of course. You can make 3 different versions of the bag, actually, from the pattern. You've got your wadding in your interfacing. You've got that wonderful pink stripe fabric and also that lovely ivory white and the gorgeous blue as well. They are brilliant. Very, very limited indeed. £37.45, down to the last handful of opportunities. And of course, the finished bag is brilliant. This is my new baby's bag, I'm thinking as well. Young mums, carry on for the aeroplane, says Hannah. Would be brilliant. Very, very good indeed. Lovely. So, just a handful of those remaining. Now, this is gorgeous. This is lovely. Now, this is, I think, a bag which a lot of you who love your paper piecing, who love your precision fabric work, will really, really enjoy making this bag. It's from the book called Happy Hexies, which we will put the details on the screen for you in just a second. It's such a wonderful, wonderful book. We'll take a flick through it in a wee while. In fact, at £9.95 if you want to grab the book. But this project, which we'll make in a different fabric mix, we've got it here with the little elephants and the spot-on fabric, some nice sort of deep blue, and there's some elephant fabric there on the back. But it's such a gorgeous, gorgeous little bag. This is I don't know the reason for the bag. It doesn't need a reason kind of bag. Do you know what I mean? It's one of those which is just a pure joy to make. In fact, should we go over and have a look at the... come on. Let's go. I'll take the bag with me as well. Yes, of course I will. Take the bag, Derek. Take it with you. Now, we're going to transform this project into like a musical. So let me show you the book first, which is... Happy Hexies this time around. Now, this is separate to the bundle, so it's £9.95 for the book. Again, 12 beautiful hand-pieced hexagon projects to stitch and love, including this bag, and including this bag as well, which is rather nice, isn't it? And also, if you've been to our Sewing Quarter stall at the Festival of Quilts, we did some hand piecing on the stall in the cafe as well. So if you wanted to take that a little bit further, and look at how comprehensive the instructions are as well. This is the thing I love, because again, if you're moving into a new medium, if you're starting a new project, if you're starting with a skill that maybe you're not experienced in, to have this level of oh, now look. Look, that's very, very nice indeed. Right, now, I need to find this bag, don't I? Need to do a little search in. These are brilliant. Really, really nice. In fact, oh, look. Let me just show you another project from this book first. This is nice. This is very nice. Look at that. T for 2, Cozy and Matte set. And once you start with your paper piecing, especially with the Hexies, you can go anywhere you like. You'll make lots and lots of pieces, and then you'll think, what shall I do with them? So what we're doing is we're giving you a project now for the bag, and I will find the bag in just a second. It's going to be in here somewhere. We should have marked the page again. I'll find it in a second. We'll look at the bundle first. So if you want the book is brilliant because again it will be your step-by-step guide to working with hexagons in paper piecing. Let's look at your fabric bundle that we've got then. So we're going to recreate this bag, which at the moment is Hexies with elephants and everything else. We're going to adapt this to a musical theme. So we've got this musical notes fabric here, and it's very, very simple. It's sort of like a monochrome of, is this a black and white or is this a blue and white? I can't quite see. Yes, it is monochrome, so it's black and white together, which is lovely. You're getting 1/2 metre of this. You've got a really bright and beautiful linear texture fabric as well, which is beautiful. What's this one called? I love the names they give them to them. Azalea, perfect, isn't it? Now the azaleas might still be out at the moment in flower, but they'll be starting to fade, won't they? So again, this sort of keeps that colour around. And you've got, yeah, that could be for the centre of the bag. You can see they've used a spot-on similar colour in the bag that we made with the elephants here. You used a similar sort of colour spot-on fabric as the inside, but that could just as well be the back of the bag or, you know, beyond the notes if you wanted to. It's up to you. And you also have 1/2 metre of another spot-on fabric. And this time it's kiwi. It's a really, really nice sort of soft, minty, sort of lime green. It's got an amazing texture to it. It's very, very nice indeed. So again, whether you wanted to, as in the original project, use the spot-on fabric as the lining of the bag on the inside, so it's nice and bright and colourful, you can completely do that. Or you could use it for the back, or use it for the straps. It's completely up to you, which is lovely. Sorry, there you go. Lovely. This is good, actually. I'm just looking at the price. I'm just looking at the price of this bundle. We haven't got through it all yet, but I'm just looking at the price, £20.45, and thinking, that's really good. You may already have the book. That's why we've bundled this separately. We've put it separately to the bundle. You're also getting the iron-on interfacing. Again, you know when it comes to paper piecing, it's brilliant. It's very, very good indeed. And the interfacing, it just has a myriad of different uses, doesn't it? Plus, you've got the wadding there as well. That is included. It's your 2-ounce wadding. And you're getting a lot of that, 40 by 40 inches, so that's plenty to work with. Love it. And then you can create this lovely project. Now, we found it in the book. We found it. Now, we've got the details at the bottom of the screen if you want the Happy Hexies book. Oh, it was this one. Sorry. I think I saw this one on the way, didn't I? It's the one on the front cover. I may have seen it. I don't think I showed it to you, though. Here it is. Here's the project. So there you go. So now you can see in the book, they've actually got sort of leatherette handles there going across the top. And they've scaled this bag up, I think, haven't they, as well, a little bit. So, you know, you can go for the original size. You can scale it up. You've got lots of different options. If you want some leatherette handles, by the way, we can certainly do that for you. Just go via the website at sewingquarter.com. So there you go. Lovely. So, in terms of the book, in terms of other projects, let's have a little flick through, shall we? And see. Oh, in fact, I'll go back to the beginning, shall I? And we'll have a little look. Oh, yes, I'll do that. Should we do it from... We'll do it from the overhead. I'll just move those for a second, and we'll have a little flick through, shall we? Oh, is it the wrong way around for you? Is that better? Is that better? There you go. Right, okay, so tools that you will need whilst making the projects, which is really, really good. Definitely, we advise, in fact, Joe was doing some paper piecing for the pea green boat this morning, and get yourself a glue pen, because again, it's just very, very simple for attaching the fabric to your paper pieces, just to be able to whiz round the actual paper itself and then just bring the fabric in is fantastic. But again, it shows you all of the basic methods here of paper piecing your Hexies, which again, you know, on first glance looks very, very daunting, and then you realise that actually once you get into the method you'll find that it's very therapeutic because it's actually quite sort of repetitive. But again, if you're building up, if you think about building up your Hexies with your different fabrics, even in this bundle, you know, the spot on, the linear texture and the notes together, you'll have great fun making the Hexies for these. So let's have a quick whiz through the projects. First of all is the bag that we're talking about for this particular bundle. You also have, there's a graphic flower pouch there. And you see how it shows you how to assemble the pieces just beautifully. And then we'll go through. This is nice. Free Spirit Hexie person pouch. Love the shape of that. That bag is really nice, actually. It's a really lovely sort of rounded shape. And you can see you can adapt that for things like, you know, wash bag or storage bag. In fact, I saw Jo had something very, very similar this morning for her bits and pieces, like a storage bag. So again, it gives you lots and lots of instruction, which is great. I love it. And again, if you're not looking to buy, you know, the particular bundle, or, you know, you just get the book, it's going to give you lots and lots of inspiration. Again, if you've got scraps of fabric and you're thinking, right, how do I use these scraps of fabric? I mean, tea cozy. Actually, do you know what? I think a lot of people think, oh, tea cozy, old-fashioned kind of thing. But I think a lot of people now are going out and buying vintage teapots. Do you know what I mean? Because actually, doesn't a real teapot make better tea? So I think a lot of people are doing that. I've recently bought one. There's a restaurant chain, and they have like vintage kettles that they bring out onto the tables. Oh, heck, I'm just going to say it's called Bill's. Other restaurant chains are available. And I bought one of their blue teapots, and it's like a sort of vintage style. And so actually it could do with a tea cozy. There's nothing wrong with a tea cozy. I think they're going to be quite cool. I think they're coming back in. There's the instructions for your tea for two mat. Yeah, I'm forecasting trends there. Table topper. Yeah, because I've bought a teapot. Everyone's going to do it now. That's it. Where I lead, they follow, Hannah. It's as simple as that. That's rather nice, isn't it? Confetti coaster and placemat set. See, that is good. I have to say, I've got a dining room table which has quite deep grains in it. And when you don't use mats on the table, you get little bits of this, that, and the other all stuck in the grains, and it's probably not doing the table any good. So something like this, very, very practical as well. All made up with paper piecing Hexies, which is superb. You've got a vintage blooms table mat there. It even gives you guidance on fabrics, but of course you can adapt all of these and use your scraps or use your bundles, use the opportunities that you've got here. There's a flower patch mini quilt. So again, if you were thinking, right, okay, maybe you love your quilting already, combining two skills together, if you like, your love of quilting with a new method, if you like, paper piecing. And paper piecing is fantastic. It really is. And lots of people are loving it. Lots of people coming to our Sewing Quarter Cafe at the Festival of Quilts were saying, you know, it's something I did a long, long time ago, and I'd forgotten about it completely. And actually, it's something I can just sit doing. I can do with the glue pen, and I can speed it up a little bit. Yes, I can hand sew it if I want to as well, but actually you can speed up those processes, and actually it gives you something which is tremendously impressive very, very quickly. I mean, if you think about this mini quilt project right here, I mean, look, that's not going to take a long, long time at all, is it? But what a joy it will be, and what an amazing achievement it will be. And all the instructions and the templates are in there, how to put it together piece by piece. Oh, now that's nice. Now that is nice. And that's a fussy cut hexie pillow. Because we were talking about, you know, some fabrics, you really do want to go for the maximising the pattern in the fabric. And of course, with this bundle that we're doing for this bag right now, this notes fabric is just perfect, isn't it? Because again, you can fussy cut that if you want to, but actually it doesn't need to be, because you know there are so many elements in it, which I love it. We've got details on the bottom of the screen, by the way, right now for the musical notes bag bundle. So you've got a metre of your half metre of your musical notes fabric. You've also got the linear, which is in the azalea colour, and you've got the kiwi spot on fabric. So you're getting half metre of those three fabrics, plus your interfacing, plus your wadding as well, which is really, really good. I love it. Really, really good indeed. Right, now, if you are just getting into bag making, I will show you in just a second something completely and utterly different. But there is that little Hexie bag, by the way, which goes together with that bundle. And there's lots and lots and lots of you checking out on that book, which I just put on the stand the wrong way around. Happy Hexies, it's called, with 12 fabulous projects. So let's take this back over here and go and revisit our bags then, shall we? So we've had 3 projects so far. We've got your big kind of storage bag for carrying your, cutting mats and larger pieces, which we're doing in that wonderful pheasant fabric bundle this morning. But I think this is such a practical bag, isn't it? To be able to open this up at the front and be able to carry these larger items. I just think that really is genius. It's really, really good. Remember, there's also a book in that bundle as well, which is great, which is your sewing room accessories, isn't it? By Debbie Shaw. Such a great project, it really is. Now, we're using a different mix of fabrics than you've just seen on the finished bag. Slightly more autumnal with the pheasant fabric, with that lovely sort of deep, rich red, and the ivories and the mockers as well. It comes with buttons as well, so if you want to button up the bag at the top, you can. So that's that one, GLGC 80. Very, very popular this morning. I'm not surprised at all. Not surprised at all. And the original bag, we're in... I'm just going to double check that we have any of these available, because we made this striped bag, or we certainly gave you a bundle to make this in a different colour tone. So I'll show you the bundle for it, because it's a pink stripe fabric. Now, I've got a lot of these in baskets at the moment. It's such a comprehensive kit. I've got more people with this in their web baskets right now than I'm afraid I have available. So you will need to check this out as quickly as you possibly can, because not everyone, I'm afraid, this morning is going to be successful. I hate delivering news like that. So if you want it, grab it now. If it's in your web basket, again, I'm never nagging about web baskets, but because we've got more people with them in baskets than actually are able to check out, the sooner you do it, the more likely you are to secure it for you. Right, okay, we're going back to do another project now. Now, this one I don't have a finished one of these bags, but a simple tote bag this time from this book, which is the Fat Quarters book. This is brilliant. If you want lots and lots of different inspiration and things to do with your fat quarters. Maybe you are a fabric fiend. Maybe you've just been to the Festival of Quilts and you've spent a small fortune on fabric, and now you're thinking, right, okay, I've got lots of fat quarters, but maybe in terms of inspiration you're thinking, I don't know. Well, you can pick any page on this book and, now look, floppy animal friends. We got a bookshelf tote. That's what we're doing. Just by pure chance. Hang on a second. The page before, which is this one here. Wow. Just so happened that I have pulled out the book at the right page-ish. So we're actually talking about the library tote here. If I show you on the next page, it's a very, very simple tote bag. There you go. And in the back, there's a little layout if you wanted to do the... sorry. There we go. There you go. And there's a layout in terms of... Oh, right, okay. Just 1 second. Yes. Now here's the little image, actually. Here's the best image, actually. Oh, that's a different one. Sorry, right, okay. Fantastic. Good. Okay, so it's for making this bag, the project. Yeah, okay. And in the back, it will sort of guide you to make the book. So there are templates there. So if you're talking about school holidays or maybe your first ever project, I'm going to give you 2 bundles, which this would work for perfectly. So if I keep this page, this particular project uses 3 fat quarters. But let me flick you through some of the other projects that are in this book as well. You're going to get 4 fat quarters in the bundles that we're going to do in just a second for you. So let's just have a little flick through everything else as well. Lunch sack and set. Oh, that's a good idea, actually, isn't it? Like a lunch sack, rather than having an unwieldy lunch box. You know, and your lunch could vary in size, couldn't it? And you only need 3 fat quarters for that. So again, you could do that with the bundles that are coming up. We've got quilts and pillows there using more fat quarters. There you go. This stripes pillow there, you could make with 4 fat quarters. You could adjust that. Lovely. That's very nice, actually, isn't it? Crossroads lap quilt. There you go. Tree trunk cushion. That's clever. That's really clever, isn't it? Oh, gosh, now that's someone that's just been to the Festival of Quilts, isn't it? 33 to 35 fat quarters needed for that one. 14 for the hoop tree. Very sweet, isn't it? Oh, yeah, that's a good idea. Now, we could adapt what we have in the studio here, because we have a lot of our embroidery hoops actually up on the studio wall over there. Actually, we could arrange those into a nice tree or something, couldn't we? Let's see what else we've got in the book, because as I say, there are 50 different items. Oh, I like that. I do like that. That's really good. Yeah, so you get the equivalent of 4 fat quarters in the bundles we're about to do here in 2 different fabrics. So you can mix that with what you already have. I'm sure you've got fat quarters that you've picked up here, there, and everywhere. That's brilliant. Yes, that is a very good idea, actually. Reusable bowl covers. Yes, you could Odocoat those as well, couldn't you? Just to keep the moisture in. You could Odocoat on the inside, I suppose, as opposed to the outside on those, wouldn't you? Which would be very, very good. I love the Odocoat shows. I have to say, I'm always tuned into those. I think they're brilliant. I really do. It just makes me want to buy lots and lots and lots of them and just go around Odocoating everything. In fact, I could have done with it a couple of weeks ago. I went out to an event at the weekend, and it was a fireworks display, but it was one of those jobbies where you take your own collapsible chair and you sit, in a park and wait for the fireworks to come on. It was great. It was a firework championship. It was brilliant, but it was pouring with rain. It was pouring with rain. So I was sat there. No, everyone who bought their tickets was sat there. Some people had, well, obviously it's not something you can really take a gazebo to, really, is it? Well, you can, but you can't really see the fireworks then, can you? Because you need to be looking up at the sky. It was very good. It was very good. Hannah thought I'd sneaked into that event for free, just taking my collapsible chair. But no. It was a full-on fireworks display. Anyway, back to the bag that we are suggesting this bundle would be brilliant for, which is this. You could do a lot of different projects, actually. I mean, we've picked that one. We don't have an example here to show you, but actually, as we've been going through the book there, you've got lots, because you're getting the equivalent of 4 fat quarters in your bundles. So shall I show you your bundles? Let's start with the blue and red one first. Well, they're both blue and red, actually, in different variances, but I'm guessing this one. Okay, Riviera red, did you say? Oh, blue, right. Okay, so this is and this is true red, right. They're both linear texture fabrics, and you are getting 1/2 metre of each, and 1/2 metre, of course, equates to 2 fat quarters, doesn't it, in this bundle. They are fabulous colours, actually, aren't they? I love the fact that this slight sort of gloss and sheen to this linear fabric. It really just adds to its depth and definition, actually. Really, really nice to work with. And you get some thread as well. So you get the blue Gutermann thread as well, which is brilliant. And of course, Gutermann is pretty much the best name in the business, isn't it? I think that's fair to say in the sewing world, which is great. So here's what you have in your bundle. So it's 1/2 metre of the blue and 1/2 metre of the true red for £11 and £11.45. Anyway, you'll see that on the website. Or if you missed any of it, just give our team a call, 0800 112 4433. Here is your second bundle. Oh, now this is grey, isn't it? Sorry, it looked, from where I was looking, it looked a blue on the desk, but that's studio lighting for you. But this is actually a grey. So it's a linear texture fabric in heron grey. Oh, I love herons as well. I don't love herons when I've got a pond, though, because I've tried, in my old house in Lancashire, I tried a few times to stock my pond with a few fish, only little ones, baby koi and things like that. And it turns out I was just serving up a heron's breakfast. That's all it was. Very, very good. So you've got 1/2 metre of the heron grey. And this I love very much. This is tea rose. I mean, look at how sophisticated that is. In fact, I'm sure you'd like Can we buy more of this fabric individually as well, Hannah? Right, on the website you can buy this in half-metre denominations. I'd actually be thinking of, on one of the many channels, I'm sick of seeing myself on telly, so I don't know what it's like for you, but on one of the channels I present for, we actually present some fashion, and I actually think a pair of tapered pull-on trousers made in this fabric would be amazing. I mean, how sophisticated. In fact, in the grey, that would work just as nicely as well. This linear texture fabric. But in this particular bundle, you're getting a half-metre of each, so that's equivalent to 2 fat quarters, plus you are getting the lovely sort of silver grey Gutermann thread as well. I love it. Right, so if we look in our book, let's see what we could make. We've got 4 fat quarters, the equivalent of, to work with. In fact, let's do it together. Let's have a flick through together and let's find a project that would be good for those 2 linear fabrics together, because they are brilliant. Really, really good. Fat quarter party hats. Okay. Well, let's. Oh, well, actually, they're quite interesting looking. Actually, when they would kind of work with the linear. We might need something brighter. That might be better with the first bundle, actually, with the the brighter red and the blue, possibly. Okay, let's carry on. Let's carry on looking. Hannah's not in a party mood this morning. Oh, now, baby dress. We've been talking about babies this morning, haven't we? Because lots of babies talk in the air, isn't there? Only 3 quarters there. So there you go. So Mike, who's behind camera 2 at the moment, who believe you have a baby on the way, Mike? Oh, cameraman Mike. Sorry, that's what I meant. Sorry. Baby on the way? Oh, okay. When's it due? November. Oh, fantastic. Plenty of time to make then. And if you can't, you can get the bundle and just give it to Tash. She's a dab hand with some fabric. As you know, yeah, she'd love you for that. She'd love making a project like that as well, because it would take her back to the days when Freddie was a baby. Obviously, she wasn't making dresses for him, but, I'm sure she would have loved to. I wonder if she did. I wonder if she did make some little clothes for Freddie when he was a baby. I don't know. We'll have to ask. Toy apple with a worm. Would that work with these 2 fabrics? Not we would need a green and a red, really, wouldn't we, for those? Maybe. Let's move on. Look at the cute worm, though. Actually, the worm would be the same principle, wouldn't it, as the pussycat's tail this morning that Joe was making. Joe's back with us in 10 minutes as well, and we are making a pussycat. Floppy animal friends. See, they only need 2 fat quarters, don't they? They only need 2 fat quarters for the little floppy animals. Anyway, we're doing more animals at 10 o'clock, so we'll come back to that. Soft-shaped toys and pouch. Oh, that's a good idea, isn't it? But maybe that needs a patterned fabric rather than a plain. A mushroom tote, which you could make easily. 2 fat quarters. Oh, that's cute, isn't it? That's cute. Babies again. See, it's like baby Sunday today, isn't it? 3 fat quarters, a baby food jar bib. See, that's good, isn't it? Because lots of bibs are just very, very plain, aren't they? Very, very plain. So actually, that's quite decorative. That's quite funky. You're making a note of this, Mike. Get that sorted. Child's travel placemat. Here we are. Young children again. Messy food eaters. Eau-de-cote. Eau-de-cote, that definitely. That'd be good as well, wouldn't it? First aid kit. And then into bags. Let's skip past those. Let's have a look at quilts and pillows and see what we could make. See, this book is brilliant. You've got to have it. The details are at the bottom of the screen, by the way. So it's the Fat Quarters book by Amanda Carastillo at £17.95. We can't make the striped pillow. Mini quilt. Yes, could be making a mini quilt. Crossroads lap quilt. Yeah, very nice. 3 fat quarters required. 2 for the tree trunk cushion. That's nice. Patchwork picnic blanket. You can make that. You could make that. In fact, actually, you've got a couple of the bundles. I mean, look at the price of these bundles as well. £11.45. You might think of both. So you might think of the heron grey and the tea rose together with the thread, or you might be thinking of what was the blue in the other one? Oh, Riviera blue and true red. Again, with the thread there. Again, that's the details now on the bottom of the screen. AYGC74. I love it. Very, very good. Oh, do you know, I've really, really enjoyed this hour, completely and utterly. Now, let's go and rerun some fun. Let's go and recap what we've seen in this hour. I have to say, it's been a very, very busy hour this morning. Lots of you very, very inspired, which is great. All of this baby talk as well. I remember lots of people with babies on the way. Now, something that's been very, very popular this morning, thanks, Jay, is the Happy Hexies book. And I'm not surprised at all, because actually the inspiration this gives you, it talks to you about layouts, it talks to you about templates, it has very, very simple instructions and plans and layouts for the projects. And there are 12 different projects in there, so it not just tells you what to cut out, but it gives you layout designs as well. And of course, this is your inspiration, isn't it? I mean, you can make the projects that are in it, or completely and utterly, make your Hexies and then go off and on your own merry way. It's a very, very popular book, $9.95, WDSP 58. It's a brilliant, brilliant book, and there are lots of inspiring projects in there. And of course, from that book, this bag came, and you can make this bag in the pheasant fabric that we bought you. The pheasant fabric. Oh no, this wasn't pheasant. This was the musical notes fabric. Sorry, I'm mixing my pheasants and my notes this morning. In fact, though, you could probably do either way around. You could mix and match if you were thinking, okay, that fabric. We were talking about that kind of bag, but could I take that fabric bundle to that project? Yes, easily. You can easily transfer those across, which is brilliant. So let me show you the musical notes bundle then, to make the Hexie bag if you want to. It's got lots going on, actually. So you've got, is it ½ metre of the musical notes, ½ metre of the azalea? Was it azalea in that one? And ½ metre of the kiwi spot on in that. You've got your wadding and your iron-on interfacing included for £20.45. I've done amazingly well at remembering things this morning. I've quite amazed myself. DJGC18 is your item number for that one. Again, do make sure you check out your baskets on that one. It is very, very popular indeed. And the bag that makes is this one here, by the way. So we've made it with a different fabric. Coming up after the break, if your cat is anything like mine and it just curls up on a corner, or the softest, most comfortable chair, on the top of the chair, sitting on a blanket, whatever it may be, well, you're about now with Joe Carter to have the most fantastic project to make. Oh, look, there he is. There he is. We are about to embark on this project here, which is rather lovely. Aren't you cute? Lovely. Stick around here at the Sewing Quarter. I'll see you back here in a couple of minutes with Joe Carter and this.
Join us on Facebook. Simply search for the Sewing Quarter and like our page for the latest news and more.
To celebrate my birthday, we've created 2 shows dedicated to my passion for fashion and penchants for pets. Join us on Tuesday the 15th of August at 8 a.m. for an hour of bag-making fun featuring a birthday bundle of my favourite fabrics. The festivities continue at 10 a.m. with a show that's all about our 4-legged friends. Learn how to make a dog coat, bed and toy organiser using some adorable animal-themed prints and matching solids. There'll be plenty of fun along the way, so don't miss Tash's Birthday Bash, Tuesday the 15th of August at 8 a.m. and 10 a.m. only on Sewing Quarter, Freeview Channel 78.
There are many ways you can watch Sewing Quarter. We are live every day on Freeview Channel 78 and online at sewingquarter.com from 8 a.m. till 12 noon. But if you've missed a show, don't worry, there are 2 easy ways to catch up. The first is through our website, www.sewingquarter.com, where we repeat that morning's shows throughout the day. On the homepage, you'll see our video stream. Click on the video to hear sound and see a list of the products that we have shown in that day's shows. The second way to catch up is on our YouTube channel. All our shows are kept on YouTube, so if you buy a product and want to see the demonstration again, you can. Go to www.youtube.com/Sewing Quarter, where you'll find all our shows listed by date. Select your preferred date, then, using the description beneath the video, jump to the hour you want to watch. Then you can pause, rewind, play and skip your way to the bits that you want to watch again. Only on Sewing Quarter, Freeview Channel 78. Join us on Wednesday the 16th of August when Angie Atwood returns with another Westerly Masterclass. Westerly templates are designed to give your quilting projects a professional finish without dampening your creativity. They're versatile and easy to use, and with Angie's expert guidance, they'll revolutionise the way you quilt. Angie will show us an array of tips and tricks at 8 a.m, followed by a quilting demo at 10 a.m, featuring some fabulous designer pre-cuts. So tune in and prepare to be amazed at what you can achieve. Wednesday the 16th of August at 8 a.m. and 10 a.m, only on Sewing Quarter, Freeview Channel 78.
Do you know, you nearly saw nothing then. You nearly saw nothing at all. I was over there having a little gossip with Joe Carter, and then suddenly I heard the words, "Other side with the cat." So, here we are. Freshly groomed my cat here as well. We've just had a little grooming session, Jay and I, with the cat. And isn't he looking fine and dandy now? I love it. Everyone, I defy anyone not to love cats. I love it. Unless you're allergic, I know which. You still love them, even if you're allergic, don't you? I do know people who are allergic to cats, who have 3. Who absolutely, they put up with the streaming eyes, the sneezing and everything else just for the love of their cats. Talk to us about cats this hour. Please do get in touch. You know, I love talking about cats. I can talk about them all day long. We're going to be making this one as well, which is designed as a doorstop, actually. But I think it's far too nice to be by a door. I'd want it. You know, I don't know. I just, you know, it's almost... They do say that it's stress relieving, don't they, stroking a cat? And I know this looks a little bit odd, but, you know, it feels quite nice, let me tell you. Very, very nice. The project comes from this book here, which is 50 Fat Quarter Makes. Now, I will flick through and find the project in just a wee while. Joe Carter is here, and there is the cat there. So it's 50 Fat Quarter Makes by Joe Avery and Elizabeth Betts, £13.95. Can be yours right now, WNSP 50. Shall we have a little flick through? Shall we? Have a quick flick through and see what's going on there. We'll go past the contents there. You've got bags. You've got lots and lots of different projects going on here. And again, Fat Quarter Makes, just brilliant, isn't it? If you've got a nice big collection of fat quarters, again, children's clothes. It is Baby Sunday today. Definitely Baby Sunday today. There you go. Anyone that's broody, there's a little basket full of eggs. There you go. Beautiful. Love it, love it, love it. Lots to do in here. Really, really nice project. And in here somewhere is the cat, which is one of the 50 Fat Quarter Makes. So if you want the book, it's WNSP03 at £13.95. Right, okay. Let's do bundles. Let's do bundles to make the cat. Now, obviously, we have made the cat with what we're calling the pumpkin bundle. It's so sweet. And it's this linear texture fabric again. I love it. I love it. You're getting half a metre. Half a metre is all you need. That looks like it would take up more than half a metre, wouldn't it? You've also got your felt and your thread there as well. No, 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 no. Hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. We are getting the stuffing there as well. So we're getting the toy filling and the thread and the felt and the half metre of the pumpkin fabric. Enough to make our gorgeous cat here. Hello, hello, hello. £9.45. Are all of these bundles going to be that price tag? No way. Really? Oh, wow. Now, oh my word. Right, now, so this is the bundle that we have made this. Right, how many units of this bundle do we have, Hannah? I'm worried. I'm worried. That's nowhere near enough. I have to tell you, because even if of our potential audience right now on Freeview, which is, I don't know how many million people potentially could be watching this. I'm not saying that they're all sat in front of their TV watching this right now, but people who love cats, who love the idea of making something just so, wow. Oh, see, I wish my cat would let me do this. I wish my cat would let me do this, but he'll sit in his own particular way, and he'll let you know when he wants affection. Oh, I love it. I love it. We only have, oh, I don't even want to say this out loud, Hannah. We have 43 units of this bundle available. I know, I'm sorry, don't shout at me. We only have 43, and there are already so many of them checking out right now. XZGC88. Lots of people are picking up the book as well, of course. The book has this project in it. And the book is £13.95. It's the 50 Fat Quarter Makes by Jo Avery and Elizabeth Betts. I'm going to have to tell you that will be sold out in seconds, I think. It won't last so long. So if you want this fabric, then grab it right now. Next one will be the grey spot on. Okay. This is a spot on in slate, which is lovely. So you get a ½ metre of that, and ½ metre is all you need. I don't know why it feels like it should be so much more. You also have your felt square as well, which is 30 by 30 centimetre, and you have your thread. Well, Jo, in fairness, when Jo made the cat, she didn't know it came with felt, but that's fine. But you can use the felt for the facial features, which is fine. That's a lot of Fs on a Sunday morning. Glad I got them all in the right order. £9.45. Again, enough to make our beautiful cat. It only takes a ½ metre. It only takes a ½ metre. My cat's a black cat, but it's difficult to get facial features into a fabric black cat, I guess, isn't it, really? That's a bit of a task, and I love you. I just as a you know when you're having one of those poorly days? You know when you're having one of those poorly days on the couch? You could have this to keep you company. You know when the cat won't snuggle up where you want him to. I think this could be your... In fact, actually, could you turn this into one of those sort of, one of those sort of fragranty kind of, lavender kind of pillows, like a complete snuggle pillow? You could, couldn't you, Jo? Snuggle. I love it. I'm going to carry it wherever I go now. I love it. Stop, everyone's laughing at me. Right, okay, so that is your grey option. Curious cat, curious presenter. Right, which should we do next? At least I fit in well. As a curious presenter, at least I fit in well here. Oh, not that one. Yes, this one. Let's do this one. I like this. This one we're calling Sandy. As in Sandy from Greece. Oh, no, as in Sandy is the beach. Right, I see. So it's your Sandy spot-on fabric. You're getting ½ metre of that to make the cat. Yes, maybe you've got a Ginger Tom. Or maybe you've got a, what do they call them? The Heinz 57. Oh, that's dogs, isn't it? Oh, no, that's cats as well, isn't it? You get, like, mix, don't you? Other food manufacturers are available, I have to say. Ridiculous, isn't it? You also get your felt square, of course, 30 by 30 centimetres, and your black thread as well. Plus, of course, yes, sorry, the toy filling, the cushion filling, which is wonderful. All of again, it's £9.45. Ridiculous! Do you know what? If you were in a gift store right now, I'm sorry, I keep cuddling him too close, really, but look at all of the details. So he's got his two front paws together, and his tail's curling around. That's a happy tail as well, by the way. If the tail is curled back in towards them, that's a happy tail. If you were going out to buy something like this ready-made as a gift for someone, would that not be something like £15, £20? And then it would have lots of irritating labels and things stuck out of it, you know. And it wouldn't be made with love. And I love this. Love it. Right, last one. Sorry. Hannah's going crazy with it. Show the fabric, Derek. Honestly, cuddling the cat. And that's coming from you, Hannah. we've got our final one here, which is our linear fabric. Right, this is cream. So if you've got a cream-coloured cat, I don't think it'll be linear. It'll be furry. But if you want this one, it's very, very limited in stock. How many of these do we have? Oh, fabulous. Fabulous. We're in single figures already. It's only just appeared. We've only just made it live, and we've single figures only. Again, does come with the felt and the thread and the stuffing as well, which is brilliant. I love it. So you've just got to get your book, your 50 Fat Quarter Makes. Now, let me just find the cat ready. I'm hoping that it's going to be in the index. C for cat. C for cat, 1920. No, I'm going to find it. We'll be all fine. I do love this cat. There it is! Sorry. So ridiculous. I've turned into a 7-year-old child this morning. I do apologise. I slept really well last night as well, actually, even for the early alarm this morning. I love Sewing Quarter. I really do. I love it. Look at that. There is all of the instructions and the details to make the cat. Lovely. Right. Okay. I'm taking my cat with me. Did you make this one? Hannah's trying to say that I look like Blofeld.
There is a touch.
But that was a what? Yeah. Well, I'm far from a Bond villain, I think.
I should have made the cream one, and then it would have been...
Yeah, I love this. I love it. I am, because I'm thinking for those people, you know, who are having a bit of a duvet day, you know, when you're sat and you're watching those programmes that nobody admits to watching, Jeremy Kyle, everyone watches it, don't they? When you're curling up on the sofa and you're just having one of those lazy days, actually, because the cat will never be compliant, will they? No. The cat will never sit in that exact position watching the screen with you. So you could have your cat might get jealous, though. That's the only thing. Anyway, shall I stop spouting nonsense? Shall we see how to make this? I think I might need help this morning, Jo. It's all this festival of quilt stuff going on. Right.
Right.
Look at you. Everything's ready. Ready to go. Will we have a cat by the end of the hour?
No, we won't have a cat by the end of it. We will... No, we won't. Okay. Because it's straightforward to make. It's not an intimidating, worrying make at all.
Right.
But each section, each sort of component, is that the right word, is made separately.
Oh, okay. So
and then they're combined at the end.
So the body is almost like its own cushion.
It is.
The head is a completely different piece. And then you've got the tail. That's another... Oh, right. Just to stay there for a second. I just need to let you know. I'm coming back. I'm coming back. No, I'm coming back. I'll come back with it. The pumpkin cat, the pumpkin fabric bundle, is about to sell out. We knew it would happen, but it's about to sell out. So the very fabric bundle that we made this cat with... In fact, now I've got a blanket for my cat here with the half... Oh, look. How sweet does that look?
You could make a little quilt for it to sit on, mini quilt.
Couldn't you? Yeah. Well, we can't with that fabric now because it's almost sold out. Will we, when the bundle sells out, will we still be able to find the pumpkin fabric? We're going to check on the website and see. But maybe not, because the fabric will be tied up in the bundle code at the moment. So, fingers crossed for you. Anyway, Jo, sorry. Time for me to zip it now.
OK,
You've cut out everything.
I'll get started. I have cut out everything. The templates are all in the book.
Yeah.
They need increasing. They need to be printed out at 200%.
Right, because otherwise you'll end up with a baby cat.
Which I did, yes. I didn't originally print them out.
Right.
I didn't go up to 200%. I printed them out to the size they were. Yeah. And so there's an almost finished kitten version, which won't hold the door open.
No. No, only if it's a paper door.
Yeah, it might hold a few receipts down on a desk.
Have you got cats, Jo?
I have.
Have you?
Smokey Joe, my cat.
Oh. Colour?
Grey and white.
Oh, OK.
Spotty.
So perfect with the spot-on grey then. Brilliant. Very good. Lovely. Right, so you've cut out everything. OK,
I'll start with the ears. They're not symmetrical, so you have to cut 4 out, cut 2 out, flip the template for the other 2.
Yeah.
So mirror image earpieces, one on top of the other, and sew around the sides and leave this end open.
OK.
The ears are made separately as well. Everything's separate. So the ears are made. I have a finished one here.
So the ears separate to the head.
So it's a complete sealed.
Oh, okay. Like its own little
unit.
pincushion.
It
I
is.
see. Yes, I'll put that in there, Mike. Then you can see. Look. So the ears are separate pieces. Which. Oh, now how nice would that be? You could have one ear that was a slightly different.
Oh, you could.
You know, because some cats have like patches, don't they? My Jacob, who's black, does have like a white stripe down his chest.
I feel like a terrible cat owner now. I think both my cat's ears are grey, but his face is white.
Mm-hmm. Bless him. We all forget what our cats look like, don't we?
I also feel the need. He's not named after me. It was the name he came with from the rescue place.
Oh, okay. See, rescue are the best, aren't they? Rescue are the best, and always take the one that looks like it doesn't want to be rescued. Just take that one that sits there and goes. Take that one. That's the one to save. There were two that we were going to decide between, but one was asleep, so that wasn't interesting enough for my boys. So that one was immediately
discounted, yes.
So yeah, it's got to be entertaining, haven't they?
There you go, cats don't go to sleep when it's visiting time.
No.
Right, so
I'm sure they're all listening now, intently.
Sewing and tips for cats.
Yeah.
That's my area.
Cats are sitting there going, oh, that's the problem. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Thanks, Joe. Right.
I might have gone a bit delirious. So I'm going to notches in the seam allowance. The seam allowance specified in this pattern is under 1/4 inch, but it's really hard when you're used to taking 1/4 inch.
Yeah.
Not to. So I have to say.
So you do anyway?
I do anyway. I've tried to take a smaller seam allowance as specified, but I do tend to just automatically drift into my standard seam allowance. So you don't have to do this, but I think it gives a smoother edge, a smoother curve to the finished ear.
And again, as many as you feel necessary.
Yes. So just around taking care to avoid the stitching.
Yeah.
And then turn this the right way out. Pop some stuffing in. Mm-hmm. And then I use ladder stitch to close it.
Yeah.
And it's the same with the paws. 2 mirror image pieces, one on top of the other, right sides together, and stitch around, leaving an opening to turn and stuff.
You've just made a fabric samosa. I just thought I'd let you know. Came the word from the gallery. It's obviously hungry morning up there.
Well,
samosa stroke ear. So if you're making a full food set, there you go, there's your samosa shape. It will be a teddy bear's ear, a cat's ear.
What do you think? This is a paw. I'm doing a paw now in the same way, but leaving an end open to turn, and it's not quite samosa shape. I'm not sure it's a food stuff, that one.
Ah, okay. Yes. How did you find the instructions in the book to follow? Because they're not your instructions, so you didn't read them.
They're not my instructions. Because people say, "Oh, do you mind making somebody else's toys?" No, I like it because I get stuck in the way that I do things, and often it's nice to have a different perspective and see how other projects are tackled. And
she hates it really. We had to talk her down off the ceiling this morning. How dare they give me somebody else's project?
I have never been so insulted.
Do they know who I am? But that's good though, isn't it? Because you're right. I mean, even as you can get stuck in your own style, and it's quite nice to look at other people's methods even and think, oh, actually, why have I been doing this way when I could have actually been shortcutting or, making life easier?
And that's why it's nice to meet other people that sew, because often you'll see somebody use their technique to do something. You think, oh, why haven't I been doing that for years?
Yeah. Did you do it verbatim, the instructions from the book, or did you adapt anything?
I did adapt. I just had a little bit of an experiment in the tail should be made. It says to make all of them ears, paws, tail.
Yeah.
That's all, isn't it? Should be made as separate pieces and sealed. Mm-hmm. Now, I did stitch that one directly into the seam.
Okay.
So I left it.
That's all right. That's allowed.
And it does make putting the base on, because I thought, I'll experiment. If you want to, the higher up the tail goes, the easier it is to fit the base on.
I think the tail's in the perfect place, though, because that's where, you know, when they lie down, that's what they do, don't they? The tail comes around.
It does.
And it has a little turn in the end, doesn't it? Which means I'm happy.
Yes, I'm content.
And if I'm not, I'll let you know, vocally.
So I've done a paw and left an opening in the top, and I'll do the tail. The tail...
And the paws sit together, just if you see on the original, the paws sort of sit together, almost like it's it's got its paws sort of crossed like that. Which is rather nice.
Like a thoughtful cat.
Yeah, like a contemplation. Cats have lots of contemplation. My Jacob quite often just sits there and he's just like... And I have to say to him, you're looking at a wall, you know that, don't you? Anyway, sorry, Joe.
So tail, one on top of the other. It's really straightforward. It's a really nice... Because you can make all these bits and then hand close them and stuff them with a film on later, you know. So
okay.
I often do that, save all my hand finishing, so I can sit down with a film later on. Subtitles don't work with sewing.
No.
You lose the plot very quickly.
Yeah.
But yes.
What made you think of that? How many films do you watch with subtitles?
Well, I like a Scandinavian crime drama.
Oh, I know the one. Yes, I know the one you mean. I know the one you mean. There's lots of those on at the moment, isn't there?
There are.
They're very dark as well. They're very good, though, very gripping. I do know the one... Oh, I think I know the one you were talking about. There's quite a few of them around at the moment.
There are. But they're not really... Unless you can speak... Yeah, if you need to read the subtitles, it's not going to work.
Nice subject matter with a needle in your hand. May I
well,
say?
Some of the conversations in the Festival of Quilts booth yesterday, they took a turn.
Oh, really?
We were talking about safety, things you can take on flights, travel sewing things, because...
Oh, yes, because of blades and do-da-da-da-da, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. That's very true. So you probably couldn't take your scissors on a plane, could you?
I don't think you can. Scissors are a no-no.
No, no blades, can you?
But you can take sewing needles.
Right, yes.
Yes, because it's nice, especially if you're on a long-haul flight and take some hand piecing to do. Right, so I'll put some notches in these. But it's really nice and straightforward.
Oh, yes, not having scissors on a plane for that. Yeah, I suppose that, one, it makes sense for them and for safety and whatever, but it's not much use to you as a fabric worker if you need to...
Yeah, it's...
Just need to get in there and just, like that, just need some notches. That's all I need.
Can't do these with your teeth.
No, no. And I don't think the cabin crew are going to lend you a pair of scissors, are they?
No.
Probably not allowed to, I would imagine. Any cabin crew watching? Any advice?
Holiday sewing tips.
Can you get plastic scissors? No, you can't really, can you? Ceramic scissors? They're the same thing? Or maybe you just can't take scissors. I don't know. I can't hear you, Hannah. Oh, a message from Michelle. It's like we're just wittering this morning, aren't we? It's brilliant. Just chewing the fat. Look, that's what Sunday mornings are about, aren't they? How could you increase the pattern pieces from the book? Says Michelle. Oh, that's a good question.
Photocopy them or print them out on a computer is the best way. In the past, if things are... I take them down to a copy shop often and ask. Because often you can't photocopy books, but if they're pattern templates, it will say in the book you were allowed to copy them for that purpose. Yeah.
So maybe the library or somewhere like that, or some of the newsagents still have like a big photocopier in them, don't they, where you can blow, because obviously one page of this is A4. It's A4 size, isn't it? So let me find a template. In fact, let's find the template for. Well, actually, I'll find a template page. So you can just pop that down on the photo. I don't know. I always want to say photostat.
Yes.
Put that down on the photocopier and then just increase the size to 200%, which is 2 times, isn't it? Brilliant. Oh, I've got a picture of Julie's cat. Oh, helping with the sew. They're very helpful when it comes to anything. I notice every time I get needle and thread out and I split my skein and I put my spare threads on the back of a chair, Jacob then suddenly wants to help. So there's Julie's cat.
They get so comfortable so quickly on fabric or quilt or whatever you're working on.
Yeah, anything. Anything. Crazy.
I've been known to, if I just nip to get a drink and the cat then is curled up on the chair, I will sometimes perch on the edge of the chair, not wanting to disturb the cat, and then think, hang on, this is ridiculous.
I know.
It needs to move.
Well, remember, dogs have owners, cats have servants.
Oh.
Very much. Right, where have we got to? Leg.
So here's the tail and the paws.
Tail, that's
done.
right, not a leg. They
So,
don't have
and
legs. Paws.
V-shaped notches in the curves. Turn these out. And then I've pre-done these because it's a bit time-consuming to stuff and then hand sew them closed.
Yep.
But I will hand sew the tail closed.
I got a quick question for you. I'm sorry, the more questions we have, the more it delays us, I know. But because this is a relatively simple project, I think that's fine this morning. So, can you get the whole cat out of this ½ metre of fabric?
Yes.
Do you have any left over?
I cut out the whole cat and then double ears, double paws, double tail and I cut the beanbag pieces from it as well. Do you want to see how much I had left?
Yes.
I have that left. So I cut out extra ears, extra tail, extra paws.
Yeah, so...
And the beanbag.
Yeah.
And still had. So there's definitely enough.
It wouldn't make a swimsuit, but, you know, maybe a couple of
No, it wouldn't quite make a swimsuit.
couple of hexies for your paper piecing.
Oh, I would say that's quite a big scrap for me. That would definitely go in the scrap. My scrap box.
That's very good. Very good. So there you go. So I always go for more anyway. I mean, actually, as much as the pumpkin, I think the pumpkin bundle has sold out, actually, I think. But we're working on a plan. I have a plan. A cunning plan is being hatched as we speak right now. So that may not be the end of the story. But actually, if you've got this fabric, you will want more. Because I don't know if you heard me say earlier, actually, with this fabric, the linear fabrics, elsewhere on another channel I talk about fashion. I just think that fabric for pull-on trousers, you know, tapered trousers, I just think is perfect.
I love that colour.
It's nice, isn't it? It's a nice, it's nice for the quilters as well. It's a nice sort of blending fabric, isn't it?
The linear is really, and the spot, really useful fabrics.
Right, so we've got I wish I'd stop calling it a leg. It's a tail.
Tail is, and I've got a small tip.
Like a golf club.
It is a bit, isn't it? Now, once the ears are stuffed, do you want to fold the seam allowance in to stitch them closed? And actually, it can be a bit fiddly. So you could, if the iron's out, just press over the seam allowance.
Yeah.
Open it back out again to sew around. But then, when you turn it out the right way, it will naturally want to fold over because it's been pressed.
Yeah, against that crisp line.
So that's a tip it would make it slightly easier.
Perfect.
So I'm going to close the tail. Now this, I did stitch for that one. I basted it closed.
Yeah.
And then basted it onto there. So because the next step is to sew these together around this curve.
To make the body.
And it doesn't matter because it's symmetrical, so you can pop it on either side. But you can fit that. I don't know whether to... Should I do that and show how easy or...
Oh, I don't know. You're asking me to make a decision now. That's
Sorry.
Sunday morning. I'm not quite sure. I'll defer to your greater knowledge.
So this is not the way it tells you to do it in the pattern.
Okay.
But this is the way...
Just going off-piste, everyone.
I will, because then it will have a piece attached for definite by the end.
Okay, that's all right. Yeah, we will have a tail.
It will have
Brilliant.
a tail on.
Very good.
So about an inch or so up. I'm just going to base that in place. The more room you have here to attach the base, the easier it will be.
Okay. So you can have it higher if you wanted to.
You can have it a bit higher.
Just to say that the body of this is very tea cosy shaped, actually.
It is very tea cosy shaped.
So again, you know, if you're thinking laterally, you could actually have a cat tea cosy, couldn't you?
You could. Just leave the base off and hem the bottom, maybe quilt the sides.
You could, yes.
And line it.
Have it lined. And that could be your cat tea cosy. That's just brought all of my fabulous worlds together there. My love of cats and my love of tea in my vintage teapot. There you go. Perfect. Sorted. Might look a bit strange. Please don't save this picture on the internet anywhere, please, for future posterity. Although this is on YouTube forever now, isn't it?
It is.
Oh, well.
So the tail's in there. I'm going to pin front and back together and then sew around this curve.
Okay.
And then I'll add the base.
Alrighty.
How are we doing for time?
We've got acres of it. It's only 10:30. It's fine. No problem at all. Now, how's our plan coming together, Hannah? Is it? Right. Okay. The plan, because the bundle with the with this fabric in, this is the pumpkin, isn't it? It's sold out because there are more in baskets than we have available. But we're working on a plan, so hold that thought. Oh, we've got another message from Nicola in Oxfordshire. Hi, Joe. So loved meeting you and Hannah yesterday at the Festival of Quilts. From posh Nicola with the blue hair.
Yes. It's sort of late on, we had a good chat.
Did you?
The Sewing Quarter has the nicest viewers ever.
Oh, it does?
I had such lovely chats with people.
Oh, do you know, I can tell you some exclusive gossip now.
Oh.
Back in October, I think it was, last year. Hang on, when did we launch? January, yes. So it was back in October last year, I think October, maybe November. I was at the Knitting and Stitching show in Harrogate, in North Yorkshire. And I spoke to lots of people and I told them about the Sewing Quarter. I could tell them, it was a big secret in the industry at the time, but I was speaking to lots of people at the Knitting and Stitching show and I was telling them about them. No, this was on camera, there was a reason. Because I was asking them on camera, right, okay, there's going to be this channel which is all about sewing and quilting. You know, what do you think you'll want to get from it and what will you look forward to? And people were like, where, which channel, when does it start? Could not wait for it to get started. Because we're completely different to the other channels as well, in so much as it's not just an endless ream of item number after item number after item number after item number after item number. There's plenty of humanity to it as well. Of course we have to do the item number bit because that keeps us on the air. But essentially you get like free advice. It's amazing, really. You do workshops, Joe, don't you?
I do. I don't do an awful lot, but I have got one coming up in October.
So listen, don't tell me specifically, but if let's just make a theoretical workshop. You were doing a beginner's workshop for a day. What kind of price region would I be paying for an all-dayer with you, ish?
I don't know.
Oh,
because
okay.
I don't.
Oh, you do it for other people?
I do it for other people.
Do you know how much the
I don't know. I've not.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but that's something I should really know.
We should look it up, shouldn't we? We should find out when Joe's next workshop is and where it is and everything else, and we can find out what the ticket prices are. Just to give you an idea of how much it would be for one. Actually, Hannah's just talking about what did you say? A crafter's. Oh, her friend is looking up for a craft retreat weekend. Haven't you just put a deposit down on one of those?
I might have done.
Right, come on then. Right, so without telling me any company specifics or anything like that, is it a weekend?
It's a weekend.
Right, so
yes.
Joe's going on a craft retreat, and don't tell us when and where and whatever. But how much will that weekend cost in total-ish?
It's from Friday lunchtime through till Sunday afternoon.
Okay.
I think it's about £400. I've not had the final price for this.
Okay. Hannah's just asking me, because that's just a question a girl wants to know the answer to. Did you tell your husband?
Yes, he's quite supportive about things like that.
There you go. You go.
I go on a sewing retreat. He can
watch stuff.
Do something he wants
watch
to do.
Watch the football or whatever.
Go somewhere on his bike for the weekend.
There you go. See? Sorted. Lovely. Right, anyway, sorry. We drifted. Where are we?
Stitched all around that edge. Now I'll show you the problem with, so I'll show you my mistake here. If you're going to sew this in, I've stuffed it quite close to the end, and actually what is a good tip, before you do that, work the filling down, pop a pin in it to hold it out of the way, so you're sewing a flatter edge.
So you can get through the machine.
In, and it just makes it easier. See here, caught a little bit of fabric, there's a bit of a tuck. Now, it's not the end of the world because I would just pick the stitches that are involved in the tuck. There we go. Just open that out and I'd just re-sew over that. I wouldn't redo the whole seam. And actually, because it's a tail, that wouldn't be a bad thing because the extra stitches would just secure it. So I'll go over that. But any sewing over the stitches just holds it into the seam more firmly. But that's the drawback of sewing the stuffed piece directly into the seam.
See, that's a true professional. Someone who will say, I got it wrong. Because everyone does, don't they?
Oh, everyone
does. I mean, that's human nature, isn't it? That's part of the joy as well, actually, the individual characteristics that you give to your pieces.
And I'll be honest, often when I make a toy, sometimes I celebrate that I've remembered to put the tail in at the end, because often I'll make something and think, oh, I've still got a piece here. Mistakes are part of the process.
Of course they are. It's half the fun, isn't it?
So there we go. We've got the side body and the tail, and then I'll pop the base on.
Yeah.
And this advises to do it one side at a time, which is how I like to do things like this. So I'll sew it on one side and then the other, but leave the turning opening on the second side. Don't sew it all around, or there'll be some unpicking to do.
When it comes to, I know I'm jumping forward a little bit here, but when it comes to stuffing, what's your advice?
I think stuffing is just one of those things you sort of find your way of doing it. I overstuff, if I'm honest, and I really push into the seams to push the seams out. But I made, here's a confession, I made a whale yesterday and stuffed that, and my son came in and picked it up and went, oh, Mum, it's like a stone at the front. And I had really, just so it got the shape of the face, I had overstuffed it. So there is, so I would say stuff it, then give it a bit of a squidge. Does it feel like a nice, cuddly, soft toy? And if it doesn't, take a little bit out. And
as because this is designed as a doorstop, isn't it? What do we do for the extra sort of ballast or weight that we need? Because stuffing alone is really not going to hold a door open, is it?
It's not. This one has like a bean bag in it. So there's the pattern piece. Where have I put them? I put my bean bag pieces somewhere. So it's in the pattern as well, and it's just a simple...
Oh, you make a bean bag?
So there's two of these. Make a bean bag.
Ah, OK. Right.
People tend to
like the ones we had at school that you used to throw.
They are. They're just the same, exactly the same.
I love that.
Principle. Some people use rice, but you can get weevils in rice and things after a while. So I tend to use, and I have them with me, dishwasher salt works really well. As long as it's not, don't give it to a child in case they suck it. Yeah. But if it's not going to get wet, and doorstop wouldn't, that works really well.
That's a good idea, isn't it? And that's relatively inexpensive as well. Brilliant. We've got, from Dawn, we've got a picture of Dawn. Oh, here's Teddy, who loves to help in Dawn's... right on top.
On top of the machine.
Right. Is it nice and warm up at the top of the sewing? Hang on, aren't there sticking out bits on the top of a sewing machine? That must be a contortion and a half.
What a perch, though.
That's very good, very elegant. And to sit there long enough to have the picture taken. Very good. See, cats just like to be around you, don't they? Just like being close. Bless them. Thank you for that, Dawn. Keep them coming through. studio@sewingquarter.com. If you've got any of your... In fact, actually, just because, you know, the little plan I was hatching, looks like it's hatched.
Has it come to fruition?
I'll be back.
OK.
I'll be back. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Right. Over here, we are hatching a plan. I got it here. I brought it with me. We're hatching a plan. Now, I don't need that for a second. You know the pumpkin fabric? We sold out in the bundle because we've got more in baskets than we have available. And the pumpkin fabric was, of course, the one that Joe made. But we can bring you the pumpkin fabric by the ½ metre. So I can give you the item. You only need ½ metre, so you only need 1 unit. If you're buying via the website, you only need 1 unit to make a cat. Obviously, you would need to get the Fat Quarter make books, and you'd need to buy your wadding. But if you want just the fabric, you maybe got everything else already. You just want the fabric. $4.95 by the ½ metre. And of course, remember, if you're buying via the website and you want more than 1.5 metres, call us. Call us. Call us on 0800 112 4433. It is phenomenal. Now, wait there a second. Yeah. The project for the cat comes from this book here, which is 50 Fat Quarter Makes. Sorry, Jay, I just did a sprint myself and grabbed it. Now, Jay's very handily left the bookmark in there, so I can go straight to the cat, which is on page 19. Ta-da! All the templates are there, by the way. I think they're in the back, aren't they, for the cat? Oh, now, just to let you know, over 50 of these books have sold already. There's a lot of projects in here, let me tell you. Shall we have a little flick through the other projects? Because, of course, you can do the cat, of course, but there are so many other things that you can do, which is lovely. Say again? Right, there is a chance, I'm being told, by the end of the live show at 12 o'clock even, I forgot where I was then, 1962 for a moment. Yes, so there's a chance that in the live show, so if you're watching a rerun or watching on YouTube later in the day, you might need to add this to your wish list, actually, to see if we ever get this book back. But it could... Oh, yes, look. It's never too early. It's never too early. I bet you're on Christmas makes already, Jo, aren't you?
I've made a few.
Yeah? What have you made?
I've started a couple of stockings.
Have you?
I like, yes.
You know there's one in this book as well, don't you?
There?
Yeah, there's another project for you to do. Look.
I love a homemade.
There you go. She's watching on the TV. She's watching on the monitor there. You are the show today, Jo. That's it. Look at that. There's loads and loads of different projects here. 50 different projects. And, of course, if I flick you all the way to the back, we will find things like the templates for the projects as well, which is wonderful. But, of course, a recommendation from Jo, if you are making the cat, who's on the front cover as well, which is rather nice. Good place to be, isn't it? If you're making the cat, make sure you photocopy the template and then blow it up twice. So 200% on the photocopier. Sorry, book. So the book is £13.95. Now, over 50 of these have sold already today. How many do we have left then? Oh, not so many, I'm afraid. Not so many. We are approaching the end of the stock. So if you want it, it's a fabulous book to get hold of. It really is. I know I shouldn't say this, but I'm going to anyway because my instincts. I won't show you, but on the back, next to the ISBN number and everything else, is actually its UK price point, which is higher than our price, just to let you know that. I don't know how we've managed to do that, but there you go. I'm not going to show you. I'm just going to say if you were picking it up in a store and paying the cover price, which is actually printed onto the book, it's not like a label. It's actually printed onto the book. It would be more than £13.95. I'll leave it there. Is that enough said? Which is good. So that's kind of better than the price you would expect to pay for it. Love this cat. Do you want me to run through the other cat bundles? Right, very, very quickly. Let me pop my book. Pop there. So the one that Jo is using right now, which is the grey spot on, because Jo has a grey spotty cat, is this one here, which is lovely. 1/2 metre of the spot on. What are we calling the grey in this one? Slate, that's right. You get your, which is a Macau fabric, of course. You get your stuffing. You get the thread, and of course you get your 30 by 30 centimetre felt square as well. Now, Jo, when she made the original cat, didn't use any felt because she didn't know it came with felt. That's fine. But all of the facial features here, which Jo embroidered, you can actually make those with felt, and you can make some different, expressions if you wanted to. Lovely. Oh, and Mike would put tiger stripes on the main body of the cat. Have you got a cat, Mike? Oh, he hasn't got a cat. He just likes that tabby look. Fantastic. Right. Okay. Fantastic. So that was. Did you see the price for that, by the way, for the bundle? Under £10. Ridiculous. Shall I show any of the others? Sandy, which is this one. We've also got a cream one as well, but that's so low in stock, it's not even worth me showing you right now. So here is the sand one. So again, it's a Macau sand spot-on fabric, which is lovely. It's almost like a golden sand, actually. It's very, very nice. You've got your felt, you've got your black thread, and of course the full bundle again, because you've got the stuffing there. £9.45. This is why this is just running out of the door this morning. £9.45. And remember, the 1/2 metre of the main fabric you have is more than enough to make your cat, which is a little bit amazing, really, isn't it? Right, let's go back. Come on, you. Come on. Off we go. We're going back now. Going back to see Auntie Jo. There we go. Auntie Jo. Far too young to be an auntie, Jo, aren't you? But to a cat, that's all right. That's all right, isn't it?
I have quite a few nieces.
Have you?
Yeah.
Should we put the dishwasher salt
before
away?
They go.
That's for the stuffing. No, that's for the stuffing. It's not milk. It's not milk, Hannah. It's dishwasher salt. Please don't give that to your cat.
Right, I did start pinning it the other way and then realised I sew things on the more difficult way. So actually, it's easier to sew the base on this way round with the side of the cat on top.
Yeah.
So I pinned it along one side and then part of the way along this one to leave an opening. And it's easier to leave the opening towards the tail.
Yes.
Because the tail's a bit chunky.
Yes.
So I'll sew along one side and then the other, and that's the body section done.
Got an itchy shoulder. What does that mean, Jo? I mean, itchy nose, I know, but an itchy hand, because one's about losing money and one's about gaining money, isn't it?
What's an itchy nose?
Shoulder. It means you're going to kiss a fool, is it?
Oh.
Itchy nose, I think. It's either kiss a fool or tell a lie.
Ah. I didn't know.
Yeah, you haven't got an earpiece in, Jo, have you?
No.
Good. Be glad you haven't. Be glad you haven't. The suggestions coming from above you don't need to know. Oh, now, did we have an email about travel? Oh, let's... Doorstop. Oh, right, OK. Myra. Hello, Myra in West Sussex. She says, the best thing for adding weight to a project is to use Avery sand.
I've heard this, but I'm not quite sure.
Where you get it?
Oh, walnut shells as well, somebody said, but I don't know where.
Yeah, I suppose that would work, wouldn't it?
Ground.
Yeah.
Apparently, you can get ground walnut shells somewhere.
I don't know how aviary sand is different to sort of regular sand.
Is it more sort of stony, for want of it? Are the grains large?
I don't know. Maybe it is. Maybe you could do it with gravel. I don't know. I'm not sure if I like the idea of that inside the, you know.
I'm not sure dishwasher salt's any better, though.
Well, that's very true, actually. I've got a cat full of dishwasher salt. Yeah, that's a good point. Well made there. Helen says, scissors are allowed on a plane if they're small. I'm crew, and there are always people sewing and knitting on flights. Oh, so can you take the little, like, nail scissors then? Or your little embroidery scissors? Well, according to Helen, who is crew, you're allowed to take small scissors with you. She says she's crew, so I can't confirm that completely honestly, but that's coming from crew. Yeah. So I wonder if the ones you get, you know, if you got your little sewing quarter kit, if you spend over £10 on your first order, you get this mini sewing kit. Do you think that would be allowed on the flight?
They must be. You can't get scissors much smaller than that.
That's very true, because they're only tiny, weeny ones, aren't they? It's good, that sewing kit, actually, isn't it? We had it custom made. I remember when we had these made. When the first sample of this arrived, we had a big meeting, the whole project team for the sewing quarter, and we were all, oh, quick, let me look. Everyone wanted these. I've got one of these proudly at home as well. I love it.
I've got one in my handbag as well.
They're great, though, aren't they?
They are.
Everybody wants them. First order of £10 or more, that's how you get one of those. That's your passport to getting one of those for free.
Sorry,
Were you walking yours around the Festival of Quilts yesterday, so I hear?
Yes.
And you had an eyebrow pencil in there instead?
Oh, yes, I thought I had an unpicker, a seam ripper in there, but...
And it turned out to be an eyebrow pencil?
Yes. Well, very similar. I mean, interchangeable, really, aren't they?
Absolutely. You tried doing your brows with your seam ripper? Yeah. Right, where are we?
My bobbin thread ran out.
Oh, OK.
As I should have kept an eye on it, because I knew I had a spare one with me, but... So I'm just going to do the part side with the opening left in it. And I should pick up the pace, really, shouldn't I?
Well, you know, take your time, it's fine. We were here till 12, it's fine.
It's just a nice,
I don't mind.
relaxing...
I don't know why we split this up into hours. It should just be the whole morning, shouldn't it? You got a busy afternoon yet as well, haven't you?
I have.
You're back off to the Festival of Quilts if you can get in.
Well, there is that.
The roads are a little bit challenging today.
My direction skills are
me too.
limited.
They've done a thing today. They always do roadworks at the most convenient of times, don't they?
Yep.
Like to get from here to where the NEC is, because we're pretty much in the centre of Birmingham, and to get to the NEC is the one big road to close for the whole weekend. Yay, thanks for that. Thank you.
So there we go, the base is on.
Oh, now, conversely, I've just had another flight story from Nicola saying that she actually had her scissors confiscated on a flight. Oh, dear. Yeah, my daughter had a small round-ended children's scissors and had them confiscated on a flight. Right, OK, so take advice, I would say, on that. Don't take your expensive scissors and then have them confiscated, because that man on the telly that doesn't know what he's talking about said it was OK. That man with the cat in his arms told me it was all right.
Right, the head.
Yes.
In the pattern, it says to measure, I think it's 7 centimetres. I'm doing this from memory, and it's always a little bit dangerous. So you want a gap of 7 centimetres, mark that between the ears. And then each ear is about 5.5, I think it's 5.5 centimetres. Mm-hmm. Now, the pattern says to leave those openings for the ears.
Yeah.
Leave them as openings. So you'd stitch this section and stitch round, but leave a turning gap in the bottom. Mm-hmm. Now, when I made it, I actually turned through one of the ear openings, so I stitched all the way round. Mm-hmm. But you could just stitch the ears closed. And because they've been sewn on as separate pieces, just position them on in the seam, because you don't get any extra width for sewing them into a hole.
And you could also mismatch the ears if you wanted to.
I think mismatched ears look really cute.
It does look really nice, doesn't it? Just a bit of extra personality. If you like to, it's up to you.
But I'll sew one closed and one open.
Okay.
Just to show the different techniques.
See, this is why we book you on a Sunday, Jo. It's your decisive nature.
And my ability to confuse even the simplest of projects.
Now, the full instructions with the best indicators on them, according to Jo Avery and who else was it? Jo Avery and someone else. Elizabeth Betts are in the book called 50 Fat Quarter Makes. Of course, you can see the cat is there. I'm afraid I'm down to around about a dozen or so of those available. So if you want one, make sure that you reserve it quickly. And I have to say that the price... Now, our price for this book, Jo, now don't say this out loud, but our price for the book is $13.95. But look, yeah, so it's not the price it should be. Not the price it should be, which is lovely. And it's the right way. Don't worry. It's not we're charging you more than the cover price. It's the other way around very much.
Right, so I have been contrarian, not done it quite the way suggested. So I've not left an opening at the bottom. I've left one opening for one ear to show the different ways to attach the ear. But I'm going to use the ear opening as a turning.
Right, rebel you.
I know. There's no stopping me sometimes. I just live life on the edge.
Oh, we had more messages about scissors on planes. This is like Snakes on the Plane, the sequel, isn't it? Marie in Lincolnshire has said, it's the first thing I checked for my flight, and I can take scissors up to 4 inches. So maybe the child scissors were bigger than that. My embroidery and tapestry are going as part of my hand luggage, she says. Right. And she checked as well. Michelle has also been in touch as well. What did Michelle say? Oh, here it is. She says, I heard nail clippers would work for cutting threads and yarn as an alternative tool whilst flying. Oh, nail clippers. Yeah, like the long, stubby ones that you do your nails with. Those, yeah.
They would work really
That'd be
well.
nail clippers. Yes, I know exactly what I mean now. Got some of those. Yes, because even a mini pair of those would work, wouldn't it? You know, the tiniest pair.
Pop some filling into the
I'm just observing your method versus mine.
Well, trying
so
to be
you
a bit
take great
speedy.
big handfuls and...
Sometimes I will give it a little fluff up just
right.
to make it a bit softer.
Yeah.
Because it gets compressed in the bags.
Okay, yeah, of course.
But then I would use...
Oh, now Rachel has noticed the likeness of the cat to a certain well-known children's character from way back when.
It does have a distinct...
It does have a little bit of a look of a well-known children's cat that was pink, I believe. Therese even, sorry. Oh, Therese met you yesterday with her sister.
Oh, yes.
Yes. She's just texting to say how much she enjoyed that.
Oh, it was great meeting
and her
everybody
sister.
yesterday.
Say again?
It was great meeting everyone yesterday. We had a laugh.
Lovely, isn't it?
So if you're leaving the openings for the ears, you'd have one at either side, and then you could stitch each side around the ear, like that. Or if you just wanted to keep it closed.
Oh, sorry, do you want the other ear? It's in my hand.
Sorry. You could just stitch it directly onto the seam. It's whichever way you find easiest and prefer. And I'll go on to the beanbag now. Here's my other piece.
You know you didn't use felt for the facial features. What would you do? Would you draw and cut out some felt, or what would you do?
I would draw a triangle for the nose and position that on, because actually it's easier to position. You can position it on and then pin it, or a dab of glue before you stitch it into place. And then you could work. I'll draw a nose on, and then work from there with your whiskers. And I'd just back stitch with the embroidery thread. The whiskers. But you could do circles if you want to do larger felt circles for the eyes. You could, or embroider the eyes as well.
Let's just show you that the right way around, just so that you can see it.
And
cute!
I always mark it on with the water erasable pen.
Would you do a little red tongue maybe in felt as well sometimes? Because cats like sticking their tongue out quite a lot.
Even give it a little bit of a
smile.
Bit of a smile, and maybe then a tongue sticking.
There you go. There you go. Oh, see, that's cute.
See, it needs eyebrows now as well.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Nice. Oh, beanbag. Right, okay, beanbag.
So...
Oh, we only have 1 minute.
Pieces on top of each other. Right, okay, I'll do this super quickly.
Okay.
It shows the seam allowance, I think, it's marked on the pattern piece, so it's a slightly larger one. But I'll just whiz around the edge and go to full speed. I didn't get the...
We have a nice relaxed hour, and then we run to the finishing line, don't we?
And then the easiest way to get the beans, leave one short edge open. Oh, I've not... That's not the best seam allowance because I was in a rush there.
It's all right.
A funnel, or I often just make a cone.
Oh, with a piece of paper.
With some paper.
Yeah.
Put your, whichever you're using as the bean type filling in.
Yeah.
Fill it quite full. You can pop a couple of pins to hold them in place, although some will escape through, and then just machine sew along it. And you could turn this the right. It doesn't matter which way out this is because
that's actually inside. Going out. That's going inside, isn't it? Thank you, Jo. I've got to go.
Thank you.
Thank you. When are you back with us?
Oh, I think it's about 2 weeks.
Oh, is it? Okay, and you'll be at the Festival of Quilts later, of course.
Festival of Quilts later, yes.
Enjoy. Good to see you again.
Good to see you.
I will see you soon. And listen, we have to go to a break now because it's that time. I'm going to cuddle the cat and do a bit more grooming. I'll see you back here in a couple of minutes. And it's all about storage for the final hours. Please stay with us here at the Sewing Quarter.
Follow us on Instagram. Search for our Sewing Quarter page and follow us to get our latest posts.
Today I'm going to be showing you how to do diagonal tacking, which is also known as pad stitching, but depending on what you're using it for. Diagonal tacking would be a temporary stitch just to attach layers of fabric together, like interlinings or interfacings, and you'll be doing that to the wrong side of the fabric. So normally you would use 2 layers of fabric, but I'm going to be just using this fabric here on a hoop, just so I can show you the stitches. So I'm going to be taking my needle through my fabric, and then I'm going to be doing in and out to create a diagonal shape. And then I'm going to go further down and again coming in and out. So you can see that I'm moving from the right to left, but if you're right or left-handed, then this can change either way, whatever's more comfortable for you. So it's this small stitch here that gives you the diagonal shapes, and you just keep going down your fabric. Okay. So once you've done these stitches down here, you then need to go back up to create a second row of stitches. But this time you need to come in and out the other way. So this time I'm going from right to left, so I'm mirroring that stitch, like so.
Britain's favourite sewing show is coming to London and we'll be there with bells on. The Great British Sewing Bee Live is taking place over 4 days from the 21st to the 24th of September at XL London. If you're a hobbyist dressmaker who's been inspired by what you've seen on the Sewing Bee, a seasoned professional looking for new ideas, or just fancy taking dressmaking up for the first time, this is the event for you. We are proudly sponsoring the Demo Theatre with live performances from designer, author and former Sewing Bee contestant Jennifer Taylor throughout the weekend. And with our discount code SQD, you'll get £1.50 off your ticket. So what are you waiting for? Grab your tickets now and join the buzz at the Great British Sewing Bee Live this September.
Hello there, it's lovely to have your company this morning here on the Sewing Quarter. If we've not met before, by the way, I'm Derek. I'm the man right at the very, very end of the list that when no one else is available whatsoever, then, well, come on, we'll call him. He'll be all right for a laugh for 4 hours. It's lovely to have your company. I love being here at the Sewing Quarter. I was actually involved in the setup of the Sewing Quarter as part of the project team for the Sewing Quarter. So I know a lot about our story that got us here to these wonderful studios. And I think it's fantastic because I can remember a conversation I had about a year ago about the prospect of having Kay Fassett in this studio, and now it's happened, which is brilliant. And if you missed the show, I think it was Thursday's show, if you go back through the YouTube stream on through our website or on our YouTube channel, just search Sewing Quarter and look back to, I think it was Thursday with Natasha, who had a great long show with Kay for 2 hours, which was amazing. I found it fascinating, really, really fascinating. I mean, Kate's work with colour and fabric is just legendary, as you know. In fact, I don't even know, is he at the Festival of Quilts this weekend? Oh, he was there on the Thursday, so yeah, I'm sure a lot of people would have met him, and Anna Marie Horner as well. Was there on the Friday and was here on the Friday as well. And tomorrow, of course, we have a brand new guest joining us from the Sewing Bee fame. Paul Clarke is here tomorrow with Natasha. It's brilliant. It's lovely to see our existing guest designers and to see new faces coming in as well, especially when they've come from somewhere like the Sewing Bee. Of course, you know the level of expertise you need to even get in the running to be on a show like that. So it's fantastic. Stick around. Anyway, we've got lots to do in this hour. We're talking about storage in this hour. Make sure if you're watching on the web and you haven't seen the earlier hours, just have a little flick through the products that are there because we've had some great times today. This is going to be a brilliant show to look back on. And this hour we're talking about storage solutions, but we're not going to start with a storage solution. We're going to start with an item of jewellery, which is a bit bizarre and a bit left field for the Sewing Quarter, but we're going to start off with a necklace, and it's by Tatty Divine, which is a really, really big name. And do you know, a year ago I hadn't heard of Tatty Divine, and now you hear their name left, right and centre, excuse me, when it comes to really, really designer jewellery. Now, it's not the penguin. I've just decided to model it on the penguin for a second, but I will show you. Jo was wearing this necklace today as well, you probably noticed, and it's just delicious. It's the word quilter, which has been laser cut from this amazing, it looks like a sort of dark wood coloured resin. It's beautiful. And on the bottom there, it's got a hexie too. Now, Hannah, I can't hear you again, darling, I'm sorry. And you've got a complete, obviously it's a complete necklace, completely and utterly handmade. And it's got, if I take you to the end there, you've got the little heart tag there at the end, which I think is synonymous to Tatty Divine jewellery. Actually, our web designer for sewingquarter.com, Millie, just absolutely adores this brand. She blogs about this brand. She has pretty much everything they've made, I think. She just loves them. But it is superb. It's a lovely, lovely, lovely necklace. And, oh, now here's the vital bit of information that I hadn't had up to this point. It is utterly exclusive to the Sewing Quarter. Oh, my word. Now, that's the key piece of information that we needed. It comes in the beautiful Tatty Divine packaging, which in itself is a real joy. It's a wonderful brand. It's a great way to get to know the brand as well. Do you know what? Excuse me. This weekend is the Festival of Quilts, and I think you'll find that a lot of people heading to the show next year will be wearing their necklace. That's so cool, isn't it? I love it. And exclusive to us here at the Sewing Quarter. What a lovely gift as well, if you're looking for something, you know, a little bit of a stocking filler maybe. I know we're, you know, thinking ahead of time there. But actually, what a nice stocking filler it would be to someone you know who is, you know, a dedicated quilter. I love the way this is made. It's beautiful. It's like two different sort of tones of colour as well. It's almost like a honey amber meets a smoky quartz. In fact, let me give it a lighter background because against my shirt it's getting a little bit lost. So let me show you. Isn't that cute with a little hexie? £30 exclusive to the Sewing Quarter. In fact, I would imagine that Millie, our web designer, I would imagine she probably influenced us heading to Tatty Divine and getting together with them. It's a beautiful piece. It really is. What a lovely, lovely idea. You know, something you can wear which just has that sort of representation of what you do with the little hexie as well. I like it. Utterly exclusive to the Sewing Quarter. So I would imagine, Hannah, that we are looking at quite a limited number because I would imagine this wouldn't be a... Because, right, yes, it's diminishing. The stock is diminishing because the designers love wearing them here at the Sewing Quarter as well. I just think, actually, the way it will come to you, let me just sort of, I'll pretend to be the shopkeeper for a second and just show you how this will sort of come presented to you inside the box. I mean, that will be a real joy to present someone as well, won't it? How cute, how sweet. And in the very, very designer Tatty Divine packaging as well. I think that's lovely. I really do. Handmade British designers, exclusive design to the Sewing Quarter. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. But only a limited number of those available, of course. We would have done a limited run to them, I'm sure. Oh, it's Harriet and Rosie who are Tatty Divine. And there's lots more details on their website, and you can get hold of them via their hashtag as well, which is good if you do Twitter with hashtag. They're very, very good, and they're very, very innovative and distinctive. Their pieces are, and in fact, a lot of their pieces are geometric and hexagonal as well. They work with lots and lots of different crazy shapes, and they're very edgy, actually, and very, very nice indeed. So I would look them up. Aside that, if you want that, because that will be the only piece of theirs that we will stock here, but do go and look them up as well, definitely. Right, let's talk storage now then, shall we? Where shall we start? Got lots of bees. Got lots of bees, haven't we here? We also have this spool rack as well. Comes with all the threads that we've got here. I like this. We've already organised them into some kind of sort of colour range and order. They're all the Gutermann threads. They are fabulous. Really, really nice indeed. So they are coming with 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32 individual Gutermann threads. And there's a lot in those, aren't there? I mean, how long are each one of them? 100 meters on each spool. That's fantastic, isn't it? And you've got such a range of different colours. In fact, if I show you from the reverse there, you can see the top row really nice and clearly. You've got like a sort of a fuchsia colour. There's like a berry colour. There's orange going on and a lovely grey. And then through the lower rows, we've got the blues, the purples, the maroons. There's some lovely chocolate brown there, some lovely deep sort of midnight sapphire blue. And they all just sit on these little spool pins here, very, very simply. How neat and tidy does that look? I mean, you know, whenever I'm here, I always look behind the graphics there. You can see we've got like a giant spool rack there, and it always looks really, really attractive. We're going to have a little look, because I think this is lovely. I think this is brilliant. It's brilliant. Look at that. There you go. I mean, that's just part of our set dressing there. It's not something that we sell, but that just looks super organised, doesn't it? That gives you that professional edge, doesn't it? That professional look. Love it. I think it's a really, really good idea. Now, it does come with all of the threads, and there are 32 different colours there for you to peruse across. Love the selection of yellows as well, actually, because you've ones that are sort of sunshine, sort of sunflower yellow. You've got one that's slightly more golden, and then you've got one that's slightly sort of lighter, zestier, like a custard or a lemon skin yellow. Love them. Really, really good. And universal palettes of colours as well. It's very, very simple. It's almost like stadium seating. For your spools, it's good, isn't it? $59.95 if you want that one. So that will be there for us to enjoy and look at all the way through the show. In fact, I'll just pop it over here next to our penguin. Where are we going next? The Big Bee House. Lovely. Now, our former buyer for the sewing quarter, Lisa, actually now keeps bees. And lots of people are doing that. Lots of people are getting a hive together, aren't they? So I just think they're wonderful. This is just lovely. It looks beautiful, very, very classic. Almost looks like it is homemade itself, doesn't it? From the sort of almost like a wickerwork roof to that sort of woven handle. I love it, and all the embroidery going on, the bees and the honeycomb and the plants there, and here. It's got a magnetic clasp. Again, this just looks a bit more the business, doesn't it? And when you go inside, well, you've got lots and lots of different space there. You've got your organising tray there at the top. I was trying to pick that up like that. They've put 2 little spaces in there just to get your fingers in, so you can easily pull that up and out. And then, of course, you can get your fat quarters and lots and lots of bits and pieces in there. In the bottom of the storage. It's quite a big space in there, actually. You'd be surprised. It's quite vacuous. And in the top, of course, if you want space for your needles and your bits and bobs or whatever it may be. I love it. And then you just close down the lid, and then it turns into its little beehive. Love it. How cute is that? How cute is that? £32.95. It's lovely. It's really, really good. Yeah, actually, in the embroidery, actually doing this honeycomb work in the embroidery, it's very, very good. You could also applique onto that if you wanted to as well, and you could further sort of customise it. So you could actually applique in fabric your name in letters on the roof if you wanted to. That would be really nice. Lovely. Very nice. Right, okay, next up, I'll just pop this over here for a second. And we've got next, you've got to have this with this, haven't you? So if I just, you've got to have these two together, haven't you? So this is your little hexagon sewing case. Oh, includes some accessories. Right, let's dive in and have a little look, shall we? So this is actually a pin cushion on the top. I don't have any pins here at the moment, I don't think, do I? No, don't think I do at the moment. But Hannah says, well, open it up and see what's inside. Why don't you? Oh, now look. Oh, that's a good idea. That's a brilliant... do you know what? The first time I took that lid off, I thought, oh, no, I'm going to have one of those moments. We're about to have one of those moments. But no, that's the way it's designed like that, with all of its bits and pieces inside. So you've got a needle threader in there. You've got a pair of embroidery scissors with a cover on the blade. Safety first, of course. Actually, somebody else texted about flights and scissors, didn't they? Because we've been talking about that this morning. Somebody else said that they took theirs on no problem. Was it Hannah or something? There's a tape measure. Yeah, small. Jules had no problem with the small embroidery scissors. You've got a seam ripper in there, which is rather clever. You've got some place for your needles. You've got some threads there. It's like one of those sort of travel packs of thread, isn't it? Which is rather good. Do you know what? I pick those whenever I stay in a hotel that actually gives you one of those little vanity sets. I'll always take the little card of threads. You always do, don't you? It's just, you know, I've paid for it. That's what you think, isn't it? Do the pins come with it, Hannah? You got two? No, not those pins. Don't know why those are in there, but it does come with some pins, does it? Okay. She might be thinking about another one. But anyway, you'll have pins. Pins. Everyone has pins. And if you don't have any pins, you can come to the sewing quarter. And when you're done, see how good is that? Because you can just whiz that around, find what you need to, you know. And when you're done, just bring it all back up together like so. And then it all turns into its own little case. That's the way to do it. Do it all but one side, and then bring it all together like so. He says. Just do it live on telly now, Derek. There you go. Dun, 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 dun. And you've got to have the, if you're getting that, you've got to have the beehive house ready, haven't you? Because the two they're partner pieces, aren't they? Really, that's really good for $22.95. I have to say, that's very comprehensive for what it has inside it. Make sure you get the beehive sewing box. Details for that are down here on the bottom at $32.95. How cute are they? And again, that would take a long time to make. And if you think of all the different materials that these are sort of made out of. But I think what this comes with, again, let's go in again. It's a bit like the TARDIS, isn't it? It's bigger on the inside than the outside. See, that's a pin cushion on its own. Even the lid is a pin cushion on its own as well, while you're working away, which is great. And which is not easy to see because of, well, my shirt, for one, and many other reasons. But you actually have a pin cushion in the middle of this. So as you take the lid off, it then opens up like a flower. Listen, sorry, I'm putting into words what you can see in front of your eyes. I'm just mesmerised. I just think it's very, very good. I think that's a good idea. I think it's very organised, and we're trying to make the best of our space. And again, if you've got just a desk or a dining room table to work on, and you need to cut fabric and whatever, if you think about the scenario, if I need to, where's some fabric? I need some fabric. Have you got any fabric to hand at all? I just need, it's all right, some here. Right, so if I'm about to cut some fabric, at the moment, what happens now, oh, there's a pin in it. That's okay, I need a pin. I'll put that in my pin cushion. So at the moment, if I now needed to cut some fabric, what I would have to do is put my fabric there and put my scissors to one side and put my pins to one side and put my this to one side and that to one side. With this, I just need to pick that up and move it out of the way, and then I can bring my fabric down straight away onto my cutting mat, and away I go, and I can cut my fabric. And then when I need to work with it, when I need to pin it, I just bring the whole thing back, and then I can work with it and pin it. So if you think about its portability, it makes huge sense, doesn't it, to have something like this that you can just sort of lift up, move out of the way, and job done. And when you're done with it, you bring up all but one side. Well, here's my method anyway. Bring up all but one side, depending on whether you're left or right-handed. I'm left. And then bring the last one up with the lid, and then secure everything on top, and that's it, job done. Cute! Now, we only have single figures of those, by the way. So if you like that, $22.95 GAGQ, no, CAGQ, 90 is your order reference. And you've got a bee flying across the top there as well. Beautiful. Oh, bees, fascinating. There's so many different types of bees as well, aren't there? I was watching some lavender a couple of weeks ago. And some of them are yellow and black, and some of them are orange and all kinds of colours, aren't they? Right, staying with that bee theme. Oh, I might stuff this, actually. Let me see. That's good. That's good. Right, let me stuff that for a second, just so you see it at its fullest. We've got a pack of stuffing here, just so you can see it a little bit fuller. That's a nice bag, isn't it? It's a good size, and in the end, you think, hello, there's a bit of an air hole for everything that's inside. No. If you're knitting or if you're crocheting, your ball of wool can be inside the bag, and you should just have the end just poking through the end. You can just pull that through as you need it. How handy is that? Who invents these things? They're very clever, aren't they? They're probably people who came across the problem and then designed something to solve the problem. That's what it is. What are you doing down there? It's the penguin just went for a jump for some reason. There you go. Right, so bees, staying with the same theme as the storage solutions we were just looking at as well, because it's very, very similar styling. As you can see, the bees are flying around there. What a cute little bag. Actually, this would be good for a carry-on, actually, because this would go under the seat in front of you, as they like saying on the announcements. This is good because it's got a big, big pocket there at the front. So again, if you wanted somewhere for, if you were on a plane, for instance, if you wanted somewhere to just, you know, pop your tickets and bits and pieces in there, it could be your knitting needles because it's quite a nice long section too. That's nice, isn't it? It's almost like a spot-on. It's almost like that spot-on sand that we were looking at before, isn't it? In the bundles in the last hour for the, what did we do in the last hour? The cat, that's it. You've got the bees all the way around, and this is like almost like a linen sort of canvas feel to it. Two sort of medium-sized handles, plus, of course, you've got on that end, you've got the hole there. So if you wanted your ball of wool on the inside, maybe, and then just pop it through there and take it as you need it. Inside as well. Let me just unstuff it again for a second. Inside, you've got one big open compartment, and there's a lot more space. It's a bit like a TARDIS again. So more space on the inside, bigger on the inside than the outside. These are great. Love them. Right, so that is only just £20.95. Again, goes really nicely with your beehive house and goes really nicely with your sewing accessories and your little caddy there, which is really good. So you can mix and match all of those together. You'll find all the details on the website. And if you miss anything, by the way, because I realise I'm jumping around here, there and there, talking about this and then that and then that. But if there's anything you need, just give us a call on 0800 112 4433. Right, what's next? Right, different bees this time. Should we show you this bag first? See, this is good, right? This bag is quilted this time. I might put some stuffing in there in just a second so it looks like it has something in it. The zip is nice and long as well, so it goes beyond the edge of the bag, which is good to know. It's got wooden handles, which is superb. I'm just going to pop some stuffing in the centre just so that, purely for demonstration purposes, because of course you will stuff it with all sorts. It's beautifully quilted on the inside. I'll show you that in just a second, but there you can see the way it sort of holds its own. It does actually have a nice flat base to it as well, which is really nice. So it will stand up. When it's full, you can see the way it's been designed and quilted on the bottom as well, that it will actually hold its own. Love that. So you can store your fat quarters in there, get yourself a nice sort of travel pack together. And, right, let's go in. I think that's brilliant, the fact that the zip goes way beyond, which is really, really good. Very good design feature. And look at the quality of the quilting on the inside. You can see it from there, look. Looks like a luxury mattress, doesn't it, almost? Beautiful. In fact, from the feel of that, it feels like it's... that fabric on the inside feels like it's slightly sort of moisture resistant. Almost a little bit like it's not been eau-de-coated or anything like that. It's not like a shiny surface, but it does feel like that if there was any moisture in there, that wouldn't be an issue for this bag. And there's oodles of space in there. I like that. That's very, very good. How much is that? £24.95. That's good. Very, very good. Nice and muted. And again, remember, if you wanted to customise that bag, if you wanted to applique on top of it, then you could do that. Maybe you've got, you know, a yellow bee applique, you want to put on top of that. Oh, actually, you've got a big pocket there at the front as well. Sorry, I didn't show you on that last one, which actually has some one-touch fastening tabs on it as well. So that's a nice big sort of full-length pocket. So I must move on. And this is lovely. This is I guess, more of a sort of traditional-looking sewing box, really, isn't it? Very, very nice. It's a pincushion on the top, obviously, which is great. It's a magnetic clasp at the front, and then up you go and open to reveal its beauty. You actually have got a pincushion inbuilt on the inside there, which is good. You've got a little pocket here, which I guess on the other storage solutions seems to be a good place to keep sort of needles and bits and pieces like so. You've got this pull-out section here at the top, which is a nice little organiser for your bits and pieces, your safety pins and this, that and the other. Look at the way this has been lined as well. Look, it's almost like a satin-like lining in a lovely sort of soft, sort of mocha kind of colour. It's a little bit pearlescent, can you see? Love it. Very, very nice indeed. Really, really well made. I can't believe it, honestly, for the price, for $19.95, I think that's incredibly well made. Really good ingredients. And again, it's been made really, really nicely. It's a nice sturdy handle. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Brilliant. Right, okay, so that is yours at $19.95. Need to go back to our spools, our spool rack. There are lots and lots and lots of you checking out on this one. It's very, very busy indeed for this one this morning. I'm not surprised. Remember, it does include your 32 100-metre spools of the Gutermann thread. So it's not just the... it's like stadium seating for your spools here. I think that's really good. The crowd are standing in line. They can all see. You can see everything that's going on there. 32 threads are included. So you've got your yellows, your greys, your lovely sort of soft creams and whites there. Wonderful palette of greens going on there. You know, we looked at the yellows before, so in greens here, you've got a lovely soft sort of, almost like spring greens, really, the first one. And then you've got more of a darker, slightly sort of lime or olive green. And then this one is beautiful, isn't it? Because it's a little more sort of racing green or forest green. Love it. Very, very nice. And there's lots going on there. $59.95. And do you know what? Quite apart from anything, this is all about how good it looks. Let's make no bones about this. This isn't necessarily about organising, so to speak. I think, you know what? Look, $59.95. And that includes the 32 threads there as well. Let me I'll show you the box as well, because they are... Oh, this is just for the stand. Oh, okay, right, okay. I won't show you the box then, because we bundled it with the threads. So there you go, and that's how it looks from the side there. It's just very neat and very elegant, isn't it? Very good. I do like it. I do like it. Right, now then, let's show you some more storage solutions. Here is a fat quarter storage bag. What a good idea. What a good idea. If you are heading to the shows, or if you are just collecting your fat quarters, this is a great way of storing them. Now, this actually, obviously, just needs a little bit of forming to make it more like its structured self. So it will take a little bit of a while just to sort of come to its true shape, because it's got a nice sort of flexible air about it, this one. They're great because they do have pockets down the side as well. So it's essentially, it's a nice tray, because I know if you've got your fat quarters, that storing them is very, very important, isn't it? Storing them and keeping them safe is absolutely key, isn't it? You've got these little covers here which can go across the top as well, or they can create sort of dividers as well if you want to as well, and they just one touch fasten onto the side. I've got some fat quarters coming, so I will just, yeah, see, you can see what you've got because you can sit them side by side if you're buying them in the traditional sort of bundle way. Let's have some more actually, why not? Let's You can get a lot in here, actually, can't you? I mean, I can keep going and going and going. But again, you can see what you've actually got. Love it. Really, really good. And it's got the see-through top, so you can simply zip up around the side. It's got a nice little structure to it. You can put your tools in there as well if maybe you do go to classes. And the fabric itself, it does feel like an odor-coated fabric, so it does feel like it's sort of water resistant, I would say. And if you have a look at the actual design of the bag itself, you can see it's also related. It's scissors and it's tape measures and it's buttons and seam rippers and safety pins and all sorts go. Thimble, all of your notions, which is brilliant. So that is £14.95. In fact, everything I'm about to show you, by the way, is your notions print, actually, ongoing. So that's your fat quarters bag, which is rather sweet and lovely. It's got a nice structure to it as well. Right, next up we have, let's go for this bag, shall we? And I can stuff it. I've got my stuffing under the desk here, so I can stuff it and form it. Again, it is the same notions print sort of fabric. And I don't know if I hasten to say, yeah. Actually, I was going to say I hasten to say whether it is fabric or not, actually, or whether it's, you know, like a composite, really. It's actually a PVC construction on this, which is lovely. Now, this could be used for anything, but actually I think also, you know, taking the kids to the swimming pool and you've got, you know, wet changing stuff and all of the rest of it and wet towels and whatever, I think this would be a good bag for that, actually. It's a little busy, I know, to see on screen. If I step to one side, because I've got a rather busy shirt on as well, you can see that notions print. And you can see all of the different pockets that are going on here. You've got a full pocket at the front with a one-touch fastening, so you haven't got any sort of anything to unlock or anything like that. So that's good. And on the inside, it's actually got a little ditzy polka dot print as well in a red, sort of a pink, actually, a deep sort of salmon pink. Got nice big pockets here on the ends. So get a good beach bag, actually, this would be as well, because you pop your flip-flops or whatever, in, you know, in the end, sunglasses, bits and pieces that you're taking to the beach with you. Or, again, we've been talking about babies all morning, so why not another mention? It could be a good baby bag, couldn't it? Because, again, it's white clean, which is great. Let's go inside as well. They are messy, aren't they, babies? One way or the other. Inside, you have got, look, well, they're not messy. It's just that they're, you know, they're less than tidy than us, compared to us, really, are they? Not as organised, that's right. That's the most diplomatic way of saying it. They're fabulous. I love babies, especially when they're other people's. Love it. They're great. £21.95 is your hobby gift PVC craft bag. It's the contemporary notions print, so again, that's everything there. It's your cotton reels, it's your pins and your rippers and everything, balls of wool. There's everything going on in this print. I love it. Right, let's go for this big storage box now, because I'm not sure about you, but you're probably looking at these things over there and thinking, I want that one. I want this one here. This is great. Again, this is that notions print all over again. Really nice and bright, inspiring colour. In fact, we get in this way around because there is the clasp there at the front. It is, again, a magnetic clasp on the front, and then up we go and in we go. And again, look, you have got built in, you've got your pin cushion, which is great. Again, little drawer there. Oh, look at this has been laced, almost sort of lace edged as well. It's almost like a lace effect trim, which goes all the way around the inner there. I like that. Very nice. Again, you've got a tray. This time it's a clear tray for your notions, your bits and pieces, your scissors and your cutters and this, that and the other, the things that you need to hand the most. And then the rest of the case is just one big vacuous space for your fat quarters, your fabric, your stuffing, your scraps. Maybe you've done some paper piecing and you're needing somewhere to keep your hexies before you start that big project. Again, it locks down there with this magnetic clasp very, very simply. and you've got the big carrying handle there at the top. So no matter what the weight is that's in there, do you know what I mean? No matter how much you've got in there, nice and substantial. That's good. At $32.95, that's good. Now, there is a smaller version of this. I just want to sit the two side by side first before I really move on to it. So that's the larger one that we've seen there at $32.95, and that's the difference. So this is probably about a third of the size, the smaller one. It's lovely. It's very, very nice indeed. So again, similar kind of thing. You've got the magnetic clasp there at the front. You open up, you go through to the top. You've got your clear plastic department there at the top. Don't eat that. And then on the inside, again, you've got plenty of room there, actually. If you're just getting started, actually, or you want more of a sort of travel case, I think that will be brilliant. Yeah, actually, maybe you've got somebody else in the family who's just starting with fabric craft. Again, that might just be something. See, I need to be a bit organised. This is not quite for me. I don't realise that, but I do need to get the bits and pieces. Excuse me, bits and pieces that I've got, which is reels of cotton. I've got lengths of embroidery thread. I've got pieces of felt that I've been ordering as well. And now I need a place to keep that together. At the moment, I've got a very, very old leather briefcase that looks like it came from 1462. Yeah, 1462. Yeah, I don't even know if they had briefcases in 1462. I have no idea. Anyway, this again, very, very good, very, very easy to look after. Again, the lid itself doubles as a pincushion while you're working if you want to, which is just fantastic. But you do have a pincushion, again, built in for when this is away. That is a pincushion, that, isn't it? Yeah. I thought so. I was thinking, you keep calling that a pincushion, Derek, and someone is about to correct you and saying, oh, no, actually, it's for X, Y, Z. Any other uses you think you might have that for? In fact, Hannah's just now wondering what I was thinking the other uses for that would be. And I have to say, I have not a clue, not a Scooby-Doo. Right, we will move on to the final bag that I've got here. Let me get my stuffing. Yeah. See, this is a bag. This is a bag to be a bag, isn't it, really? This is fabulous. This has a magnetic button there at the top. What a lovely, just a lovely over-the-shoulder shopping bag. Aren't they saying now that it's one of the supermarkets now has stopped doing the 5p bags and is only doing the 10p bag for life now? I think we're kind of getting there now, aren't we, with our shopping? A lot of people are starting to say, oh, actually, even a bag for life, not much good really, are they? Actually, something like this for your shopping, especially for your fruit and veg shopping and things like that, for your fresh, would be brilliant. So you've got oodles of space in the centre, but I'll show you that in a second. But at the front, and forgive us, because we maybe should have just given this a quick run over with the iron, actually. Oh, actually, it's deliberately ruched there at the front, as you can see there. They're actually deliberate ruches. But the whole of the front there is one big, deep, open pocket, again with this Notion print fabric. And if I take my stuffing out of here, I want to turn the bag inside out. Like the final part of making a bag is turning it all the right way in. I want to turn this one inside out. I wonder if you could sort of make this reversible as well. I suppose you could, couldn't you? Ish. It's the same kind of thing the other way around. Yeah. You'd see the piping and everything else, but anyway. I realise I should just think those things, Hannah. There you've got that deep sort of salmon polka dot print, and there is a pocket there on the inside as well, as you can see, which is sort of like a half pocket for the mobile or whatever. Hannah says this. This is a Hannah thing. Oh, OK, so I shouldn't say it out loud then, Hannah. Oh, OK, that's all right then. Hannah's suggesting that she's always cold. So this would be a good bag, to fit a jumper and any other such warming items like her sparkly leg warmers and other such things. She gets very cold in a cinema as well. You need to take someone with you and just keep close to them. Or you need to get one of those cats, Hannah. The cats that we made earlier. Where's the pumpkin cat got? Is it gone? Is it still here? Oh, can I get it back? I'm going to get the pumpkin cat back. Because you could take the penguin, but the penguin's not really going to keep you as warm as the pumpkin cat. Do you know what I mean? It's all about size, Hannah, sometimes. Especially, cinema seats are getting bigger now, aren't they? So you could do that. Anyway, this, if you like it, he says, moving back to the subject. £25.95. Here's the pumpkin cat. Hang on. Here it is. This is what you need to take, Hannah, to the cinema to keep you warm. And hang on, let's see if we can get the cat in the bag. Because nothing like a cat in a bag, is there? Here we go, then. No. Well, cats go in at their own volition. You should never put them in, but they'll go in by themselves. There you go. I'm not sure if you get a cat and a jumper in there, Hannah. But, you know, obviously don't take real cats to the cinema, will you? Because I think you will, if there's ever a bag search going on. But you could take this and you could just, you know, with your jumper on, Hannah. The cat, yeah. That's true, actually. You probably have a lot of people moving off the row as well. Do you know what I mean? Giving you a bit more room. Yeah, that is a genius way of getting the row to yourself, isn't it? Look at that strange lady there. Lovely. Are we done with this bag now, then? Are we? Fantastic. I love that, didn't it? 101 uses for a Notions bag. Wonderful. Do you want to go for the spool? Spool box first. Sorry, I paused there like I was frozen for a second. It's a 27 spool box here. You can stack these on top of each other. Of course, it's covered so they're not going to get dusty. And at the end of the day, just like the Gutermann threads that we had on our spool rack earlier, you can pop your spool straight in there. And, of course, the lid just goes in on top like so. Very, very easy, very self-explanatory. We are constantly having to reorder these in again and again and again because, you know, the more people discover them or the more people discover that other people have them and they want them, the more people come and order with us. And at £6.45, it's brilliant. Really, really good. And again, it's a Gutermann product as well, which is very, very good. One of our most popular storage items, actually, sold constantly on the website. Even when they haven't been on air, they are selling constantly on the website at sewingquarter.com. And remember, we are not just here to bring on the website, it's not just the things we do on a day-by-day basis, but that we have something like, how many Macawa solids do we have on? I think it was something like 300? I think the last I heard, it was like, yeah, it's a huge number of Macawa solids. And of course, you've got your, you know, your spot-ons and your the linears. Actually, we must remind you later as well of the item number for the pumpkin linear that we made the cat from. Must remind you of the details. Yeah, this penguin's having a bit of a moment, isn't he? Anyway. Keeping me company, that's the main thing. So, 27 spools, that's what we were talking about now. 27 spools, £6.45. And now the ultimate in storage solutions. And we get so many requests to show this again and again and again. This could be on air twice a day, every day, and we would still have requests from people to actually bring this on air. It is, I think, probably the most popular storage solution that we have because especially if you go to craft fairs, you make and you sell maybe your pieces at fairs as well. You know you always need something like this to get you around because just everything goes in it. First of all, you know, without even going in, this is as tough as old boots. It's made of the most incredible materials, so it really can be bashed and crashed around and comes back for more. I think that's one of the things, actually. I think you could almost sort of drop this on the floor, and remember, it's off the ground as well. So if you're out in a car park and it's raining and you need to get all of your stuff back in the car, remember, everything's being protected inside, but also it's off the ground as well. So if you haven't put it down onto wet ground, it's brilliant. Do you know, so many uses for these, it's untrue. Inside the top, you can see you've just got one big open space there. Now, that will be for your fabric, I'm guessing, won't it? Your part makes, yeah, you know, that part make that's sort of half done, pops in there, no problem. And the great thing is, it locks down into place. So the weight that you can carry with this is really, really quite substantial. I mean, obviously you don't want to overfill it, but it will take a tremendous lot of weight. And again, it's just so tough. And I know you shouldn't do things like that to things like this, but it's good to show you its strength and its durability. Right, okay, I'll stop now. Never be thumping things on the sewing quarter. Whatever next. Right, let's go. Let's go further down. Now this is great because this front section here almost becomes like a working platform, if you like, and you just sort of lay that down, and everything's nice and easy then to get to. And then you've got 3 of these pull-out trays here. You've got dividers, so you can decide where they go, which is brilliant because you know the size of the sections you need for the things that you've got collections of. Maybe for you, you have a lot of buttons or a lot of appliques or a lot of things that are a certain size, and you've got kind of your small, medium and large drawers inside here. Again, all of which are super durable. They've got that lovely lock which is keeping the dust, the air and the mites and everything else out. So they lock down and listen, they lock really, really securely and they are completely tough as old boots. They are great. Again, if you've got a quilt that's taking you a long, long time, the part makes, the pieces, the batting, the waddy, whatever it might be, can all live in there. And again, you just lock those doors back down. Everything locks really, really securely. That's the thing I love about this. No matter where you are, when you come to close it up, listen. They lock so securely into place. Every one of these sections really locks in beautifully. I love it. It's brilliant. People have multiples of these, by the way. People tend to say, actually, I need one, but I'll best get 2 or 3 of those because, they're under £50. And actually, you can get some really very, very inelegant looking storage solutions. Do you know what I mean? Most storage solutions that you can buy are very bland or very grey or very black or very tool looking. Do you know what I mean? Very utilitarian looking. And this has it's rounded, it's tactile, it goes hand in hand with what you are doing as well. It's a really, really good idea. I love it. It's fantastic. It's always very, very popular. I'm surprised we still have these in stock, to be honest with you. I am surprised that we still have these available and in stock. It's brilliant. It really is. Give us a call right now. GBGQ53 is your item code for that one. Love it. Love it. And as I say, you know what? You can throw it around if you want to. It is so super strong and super durable. I mean, that's what they're made to last. Do you know what I mean? So I don't have to be precious with that whatsoever. J Catch. I'm joking. I wouldn't do that to you. There you go. Right. Oh yes. And just as a side note, everything ordered within one day, and I mean from midnight one night to 11:59 and 59 seconds, the same day, is only 1 P&P. So if you ordered the storage box and the spool racks and some bags and lots of fabric, whatever, no matter how big the parcel is, if the parcel was as big and as heavy as me, we'd still be looking at, look, £2.95 P&P in a whole day. Now, you could buy a library of books from us, and books, they're weighty. They really are weighty. You could buy a bookshelf of books from us. And even if you're ordering a sewing machine from us, for instance, you know the weight of a sewing machine on average. Some are lighter, some are heavier, but generally they're quite weighty. If you were to turn up and pitch up the post office counter with a sewing machine, you're not going to get away with £2.95 delivering it anywhere, are you? You wouldn't get it delivered next door for £2.95, let alone across the country. We're going to have another little look at this book, which is the Fat Quarter Makes. Now, of course, our lovely cat. And we didn't give the cat a name, did we? Did we ever give the cat a name? I don't think we did, actually, did we? We completely and utterly forgot, but that's okay, that's fine. I don't know why I'm looking so worried. Cuddly Cat, that'll do for now. So the book that the cat came from came separately to the bundle for the cat. So there are less than 10 of these books remaining at £13.95. Of course, the cat is on is the front cover star and is also on page 19. There you go. There is the project, and the templates for that are in there as well. Lots and lots of projects in there. You've got tea. That's a nice tea cozy. I like that. Very, very nice indeed. I'm a bit into tea cozies today, aren't we? We're talking about children and tea cozies today. Has been the watchword. of today. I've just noticed up on we have a little whiteboard behind the cameras which tells us what's going on in every hour and who's doing it. I'm Del Boy today. I feel I should have that flat cap on, really. Look at that, some really, really lovely projects. Oh, that's Anna Marie Horner fabric, which we had on Friday, apparently. So you might... Is there any left? Did it all sell out? Oh, okay. Might have sold out. I'm guessing all the Cave fabrics probably walked themselves out of the door as well, but it might just be worth having a little look. If you haven't looked at Thursday's show yet, if you're, you've got some time this afternoon, Sunday afternoon, you've got a bit of time to yourself, go and have a look on the YouTube stream. If you didn't see Thursday's show with Cave or Friday's show with Anna Marie, then go and have a little look. All the item numbers, of course, will pop up as they did on the show, so you can always have a little squiz through the website and see if anything is available. It's a great book, this, isn't it? Really, really good. I tell you what, worth the $13.95 just to make the cat, I think. Don't you? Worth the $13.95. And you only need half a metre of fabric to make the cat as well. Half a metre of fabric, some stuffing. What else do I need? That's it. That's all I need, really, isn't it? That's all I really need. Okay. Fabric. Now, the fabric, the pumpkin fabric, which is going to double as a blanket for the cat, that we made the cat. Now, the bundle that we made the cat from has sold out, but the fabric that we made the cat from, which you'd only need half a metre of, is this. And it's the Makawa linear fabric in pumpkin. I love this colour. I love this colour. It is beautiful. Really, really nice. Gorgeous. And you can make your gorgeous cat from this fabric. Sorry, you know what cats are like. They see something to sit on and that's it. They're there, aren't they? Straight away. So we made this cat from it. So here's the details for the fabric. You only need half a metre to make the cat. Obviously, you'd need some stuffing as well. OUMY57 is your item number. $4.95 for a half metre. Now, if you want more than a metre and a half of that, by the way, do call us because you can order up to 3 units on the website. I could explain to you why, but it's a long and very, very tedious story, and you don't need to know really. But if you want more than a metre and a half, then order it via the telephone lines on 0800 112 4433. I love that. Come on, waft beautifully. There you go. That's just a gorgeous colour, isn't it? Really, really nice. And this fabric is going to double if you want to make some accessories to go with your cat, or you want to make something different with the fabric. You can. Oh, you hide it. It's reading the iPad. That's what it is. It's reading the iPad. You know what they're like. Does your cat ever watch the TV? There's a wildlife programme on. Mike Jacob absolutely loves it. There you go. So you can make a blanket for the cat as well if you want to. Go the whole hog. Why not? Right. What are we doing next? Bit more storage next, I do believe. Are we? It's 10 to 12 already. How did that happen? Let's do the smallest bag first, because this is rather nice. This is a little bit of a sporty-looking bag, actually. It is a bit of a sporty number, this, isn't it? I think, actually, a little bit of a... OK, it's called a knitting bag. So is this going to be another one? Yes, it's got the hole in the end. So, again, if you wanted to thread your wool through that, you can, while you're working on something, and take it around with you. I just think, actually, that's really nice. That's really lovely. Lovely, almost like the spot-on heron grey that we had this morning, actually. Very nice indeed. So you've got the great long pocket here at the side, pink lined. That goes all the way down, so that's long enough for your needles, your crochet hooks, whatever it may be. Inside, yeah, again, oh, beautifully lined. The feel of that on the inside, because this has definitely got some batting in it. That's really lovely. That's very luxurious feeling. That's really, it's almost like memory foam, actually. Feels like a very light layer of memory foam. That's lovely. Very nice. Nice flat bottom and base, and 2 very, very easy handles. $18.99. That's cheery, isn't it? I love that. It's a nice print as well, isn't it? Nice and bright and inspiring. Right, let's go for the other bag, which is, yeah, this is a good bag. This is great. I think a lot of people love this kind of bag because it's got those fabulous sort of signature wooden handles. What do we call this style of bag? Anyone know? Yeah. I wonder if there is a traditional name for bags like this with wooden handles. If you know, get in touch very, very quickly because we're on air for another 5 minutes or so. Nice long zip that goes beyond the middle of the bag. Plenty of room on the inside. Again, beautifully lined, and it's definitely, again, it's quilted. Or sort of, there's a very substantial batting, I should say, inside there. It does almost feel like a very, very light layer of memory foam. Very nice. Lovely. You're going to get lots in there, and you've got a full sleeve here on the front. So a nice big deep pocket which just secures with a one touch there. Again, this print though is just beautiful. It's like a lovely sort of tea rose, isn't it? Little hint of greens in there too. Love it. Very nice. And the wooden handles which go, yes, the dowels go all the way to either end. So those handles aren't just a bit of wood in the middle. They go all the way through the full length. As you would expect. Wonderful, sorry. I realise you've moved on and I haven't. So, here, sewing box. Yes, sewing box. Lovely. A little bit like the bees one that we saw before, actually. It's made by the same people, Hobby Gift. And this is, again, this lovely sort of tea rose print. So again, the same thing, magnetic clasp at the front, pin cushion. I couldn't think of what else that was for. It is a pin cushion. Little drawer bag there. You've got your storage layer there on the top. I've called that something different every single time. And then, of course, you've got your... And don't eat that. It does come with a silica gel. Yeah, Hannah's down to 3 a day now, she is. Very good. £22.95. Now, listen, before I go, I need to remind you about the Great British Bee, Sewing Bee Live. Shall I say that again? Will you just reorganise the words in that sentence and eventually they will make sense? It's the Great British Sewing Bee Live. Jennifer Taylor will be there. It is happening on the 21st, 22nd, 23rd and 24th of September this year. It's at the Excel Centre in London, which is brilliant because you get the Docklands Light Railway to the Excel Centre. It's very, very good. I've been to a couple of shows there. Really, really good. Now, am I right in thinking that Patrick and Esme are both there from the Sewing Bee, and lots of stars from the Sewing Bee over the years as well? We've got an exclusive discount for tickets if you're interested in going to that show. Just go to sewingquarter.com and use the loyalty code, which is SQD, Sewing Quarter Discount. You'll get £1.50 off per adult ticket if you go via our website, which is brilliant. So that's coming up at the end of September, 21st, 22nd, 23rd, 24th at the Excel Centre in London, which is a great space, actually. It's worth going down there. Go down for a weekend, pop to the show, go and spend a day at the show or a day or two, like Festival of Quilts. It might be more than one day, actually. Go and meet the stars. I'd love to meet Esme. She looks such a wonderful character. And Patrick will be there, and lots of stars of the Sewing Bee, including our very own Jennifer Taylor. Now, talking about stars of the Sewing Bee, tomorrow is the day where Natasha will be here bright and breezy from 8 o'clock in the morning, and she'll be welcoming our brand new guest designer here at the Sewing Quarter, which is Paul Clarke. And his designs look fantastic as well. So it's going to be a busy day. Have we got a menu for tomorrow? Here it is. Here's what's on the menu with Tash tomorrow. Quilting and dressmaking tomorrow. Quilt as you go, one of my favourites. Love it, love it, love it. Cut it out and off you go. You'll be sewing with Paul Clarke as he joins us for his first show tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock. It's the double tulip block at 10, and it's Paul's Saint-Tropez style at 11 o'clock in the morning. Listen, I don't know what that hails and what it brings, but you will find out together tomorrow morning on the Sewing Quarter from 8 a.m. We have had a phenomenal phenomenal show today. It's been a great pleasure to be with you. I love being here. Great having Jo with us here as well, because again, I have learnt so much. Every show is completely different here at the Sewing Quarter. You might be experienced and you might be steps ahead of us in some cases, but you might be brand new to the fabric world like me, taking your first steps into it. And just picking up new skills as you go along. Certainly some fantastic price tags, some wonderful ranges of fabrics here. The ability to make this little fella here, I just think is just wonderful. That's what I've taken from today, definitely. The fact that only takes ½ metre of fabric still blows my mind. Anyway, listen, this book is very much available for you as well, Happy Hexies, which is lovely, really, really popular. Have a look on our website, sewingquarter.com, and you'll find all the details. Listen, it's been a great, great pleasure having your company, and we'll be back tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Have a brilliant day. Take care.
Follow us on Twitter for more inspiration, top tips, news, and share your own creations with us.
Don't forget, shopping with us is easy and simple. You can just contact us at 0800 112 4433 and speak to our UK-based call centre to place an order, or shop online with us at www.sewingquarter.com.